Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bish, Bash, Bosh podcast. I can't believe this is the fifth episode. The fifth episode.
No, it's crazy.
Fifth
It's craziness.
episode. I am your host with the most, Retro Wolf Live, aka Malk, and with next to me is the lovely hostess with the mostess, is Trans Gamer Girl.
Hi.
How you doing, Trans?
He's over there.
Over there.
Is-
That'll be it. Boogieing
There we
down.
go.
There we go. There we go.
We're good. I always have problems with that every episode. You'd think that by 5 episodes and I would know. That's this direction. Not that one.
It's that direction. It's this direction.
Well, it's because my second monitor is over here, so I'm pointing over to this monitor. I'm like, he's right there. No, he's not.
It's deceiving. It's deceiving on that, to be fair. But it's all good. But it's all good in the hood as well, so everything will be all cushy as well. So, but like I said, guys, this is going to be an absolute belter of a playlist tonight. Well, the absolute legendary of the podcast itself tonight, because we've got the legendary special guest. Because I've seen her stream many times. She's absolutely amazing at Valorant, absolute killer, to be fair. And do not mess with her. Do not mess with her. She's not awkward. She's the legend. Wait for it, Trans. Legendary Aries.
I'm gonna start doing that now. Every time you say legend, I'm just gonna go legend until you hit dairy, and I'm like, they're dairy. I'm gonna start doing that. It's gonna be a thing now. Actually, I might do it this way because you're on this side apparently from my camera.
Absolutely. Legendary Aries. How you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
When you
I'm
get done.
excited to be here.
Nice. Nice. So it's good to have you actually, Aries.
Yeah, thank you for asking me.
No
I'm
worries.
so excited.
No, but
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
I mean, before we did all like get everything prepped up and everything we're all set up ready to go, when I asked Aries, it was like, I've never done a podcast before. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I'd never been on one. I was like, I know that you like sit and talk
before.
about stuff, but I was like, I wonder what it is. I wonder what we're doing.
We're just talking. I gotta fix my camera, y'all. It's looking weird.
It's just all
That's
good.
better.
For the ones that are listening with the audio from the podcast that we are going to be publishing soon on the like Spotify, iTunes in the near future. Trans is just moving her camera left, right, and centre just to get it positioned perfect.
I don't like when it's sitting, so.
We're sorry for any technical difficulties, guys, but we will be back with you in a few moments' time. But yeah, like I said, we got the legendary Aries as well, and I cannot believe it. She is absolutely amazing, and I feel absolutely like I don't know what to say, like excitement and relieved.
We're ecstatic.
That's the word I was after.
Ecstatic. Yay,
That's
me and my words.
Because, like I said, how long has it been now? Like with the followers now, it feels like ages ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
A long time.
A long time.
A long time in a good way?
A long time in a good way.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely a good way.
Absolutely. It should be absolutely amazing tonight, because whatever happens, it's going to be an absolute belter tonight. Because, like I said, we have done our introduction, and it's like I said, we are going to be talking about the PC gaming news as the first segment. If you've not heard of how the podcast works, and then we got the main discussion topic, and then the interview with the awkward Aries. She's not awkward; she's legend. Wait for it.
I'll have a little bit of awkward.
There
we go. Legendary.
Absolutely, and then
I'm like a little boop. Each time we say boop.
It's like an activate button.
Yeah.
It's just a habit, really. So, but like I said, we're going to go straight in, because we're going to be this is going to be an absolute belt. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a belter tonight of the podcast.
Yeah.
So Ted and Gulliver are telling you change your title to podcast because it still says Overcooked.
It says you're playing Overcooked.
Damn it.
Gulliver's like, I know Overcooked, and this isn't it.
I know what that game is, and this doesn't look like it.
Exactly.
We do apologise for any technical difficulties. This is why I always do one thing. I do everything right.
See,
except for
I
one thing.
set my title up earlier this week, guys. So yeah,
Well prepared.
I was prepared.
Okay.
That was very well prepared.
My title was set by Thursday night.
I do apologise for that, guys. On that, we will be technically sorted as soon as possible. So bear with me a sec. It's just normally when I do the OBS, my stream information is not on the left hand side. It's just completely gone. So, and I did change it on the restream. So yeah, that's my fault.
I think he's making up an excuse, guys.
I am not. I am not.
Any excuse.
Oh, thanks, guys. I'm being taunted, like being.
I told you.
I think this is what's going to happen, isn't it? Every week.
Yeah.
Probably.
Unfortunately for you, yeah.
Unfortunately for me, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say with
Lost
that.
for words.
I lost.
Don't like how that looks on that camera. So I'm gonna put it on here.
Right, guys, I do apologise. The title should be updated and should be hopefully.
I think it's fixed now, yeah.
Thank
Looks
you to.
Yay!
Oh, so we're sorry for any technical difficulties. Thank you to Teddy and Gulliver. I do apologise.
And make sure you guys y'all remember that because my chat doesn't populate with the other chats, I'll be looking over here to see what you guys are saying in my chat. But if you want to say something that pops up on screen, it'll be in Malk's chat. Mine populates differently, so
it's all good.
Just a little friendly reminder.
All good in the hood.
All good in the hood. See,
but I would tell them. Why is Trans looking away? Because I'm looking at your chat.
I'm trying to respond to you. I'm not ignoring your promise.
Exactly.
Bish, bash, bosh. That's what
Bish, bash, bosh.
That's what it is. So yeah, minus the technical difficulties, we do apologise. Let's go straight to the first segment of the day or the evening. Oh, sorry, Trans. Was this
did you? Aries, do you have the link to that page so you can pull it up so you can see or you can follow along in the page?
Yes, the Google document.
Awesome. Yeah. Wonderful.
Yes, I have it.
So yeah. We do get everything
we
prepped.
Actually do prep before the show. I promise we do. I really promise that we do. It's just sometimes it's like, oh, I forgot to mention this.
Me? No. Yeah. I always do one thing missing and it's just a
always forget something.
Always something.
I always forget something as well, to be fair. It's all good. I always forget something.
Oh,
bless. That was loud.
Oh, sorry, that was loud. That was loud.
Oh, probably loud in y'all's ears. I'm sorry.
Jesus. So, here we go. Let's go talk about the news itself. So, did you want to go through some of the news itself? Chance? Or are you okay? Or shall I go through the news itself? I don't mind.
I can go through I think I went through news last week. Do you want to go through news this week?
Yeah, can do. Just give you a bit of a break because we're going to do the question.
And I'll lead into the main discussion. How about that?
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect with that.
Good. We always work it out one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. We talk about the news of the PC console news of the current week from the 5th of July 2021. Week commencing in itself. So I keep saying Ubisoft, like Ubisoft. I can't. It's like Ubisoft.
I could never pronounce it either. I wouldn't worry about it.
Thank you.
I'll probably say it wrong as well.
My pronunciation all this week, all the podcasts and everything I've been doing throughout my life have been crap. But now, thank God for that someone does not understand the word Ubisoft as well, or pronunciation.
You're not the only one. There you go.
Thank you.
Ubisoft. I love it.
It's
like, Ubisoft.
It's like, Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Right, so Ubisoft has confirmed to be working on an evolving platform called Assassin's Creed Infinity, which is being referenced by IGN, so check it out on their website. An online platform will include multiple historic settings and evolve over time. Similar to how Fortnite and GTA Online have been evolving over time with multi-stories in one platform. So That's quite interesting from Ubisoft.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
But I mean, start off. What do you think of it, guys? What's your thoughts of Assassin's Creed in general? Do you like the game, and what's your thoughts of like the evolving platform that they're going to try and do soon as well?
I like Assassin's Creed. The series is really good. I mean, even though it's kind of gone away from what it used to be, the first couple episodes, but first couple of games, but I really still like it a lot because boyfriend has played Black Flag not too long ago, and a couple other things that he's played, and I absolutely love Assassin's Creed series. I think it's only natural that they're going into this evolved platform thing.
Yeah,
Because they've kind of been like leaning towards it already. They already had a couple games that had that type of live service multiplayer feel. Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are all like that. But I kind of see, and this may even be like the future of some gamings because people like to play games more with friends and they like to have the updates and they like to incorporate multiple things in like multiple lines of games and stuff like that into one game because there's different time frames that people enjoy from the Assassin's Creed series. Like some people enjoy the Renaissance time frame, some people enjoy the Revolutionary War, whatever.
Yeah.
But Goya says it could work though as a live service thing. I don't know. Ubisoft likes their microtransactions, but it can work. People like Destiny, so yeah. And there's more games that are going that way too, Goya. So I agree with you on that.
absolutely. And what's your thoughts of it, Aries, of Assassin's Creed in general as well?
I played one of the Assassin's Creed games on Xbox, and I can't remember which it was. Like, I just really cannot remember.
But I'm sure if you remember the hero, somebody will be able to tell you which game it was.
There'll be a list. There'll be a list.
There will be a full list. Yeah, I did play it like quite a lot of it though. Like, I thought it was good. I wasn't very good at it. I got stuck a lot. That's what I remember. I got stuck a lot.
Storylines are really good in them. Even the ones that have gone away from the original thing that Assassin's Creed was doing, the storylines are still usually really good in those games.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game, but I haven't played a lot of it to like know what's the new games are and stuff.
Yeah, well, they're wanting to go into what the news was about was they're wanting to go to like a live service thing where they're incorporating like the multiple timelines into one setup and into one thing. And like I said, the other games have kind of already been going that way too. So, I mean, I kind of understand because GTA Online with its progression has been really popular and it has the different timelines in it. And then, of course, there's Fortnite, which is constantly evolving its platform with different timelines. Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of understand why they're wanting to kind of jump on this bandwagon.
Yeah, I feel like it happens with a lot of games. Mm-hmm. So you would kind of expect it in a way.
Yeah.
That they would eventually do.
Yeah. Pirate 1, aka 4, is great, which is Edward Kenway. The Pirate 1 he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
The Pirate Assassin's Creed.
The Pirates.
Oh, the Pirates.
I tell you what, I quite like the Assassin's Creed series, and it's always been absolutely amazing. I remember the first one and the second one, I think it was. And then I stopped, and then also had the Odyssey. I think it was Odyssey, where it was like the Egyptian era. And that was absolutely the graphics and how they've done it, everything like that, was just like absolutely amazing. And it's good to know that like they're going to do an evolving platform. I'd quite like to see if they're going to be doing like, as they said earlier on, they're going to do like different eras, should we say, all in one.
Yeah.
Which is, that would be mad. Is it like if they wanted like a DeLorean or something, they wanted Back to the Future car and just go back?
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Goya says it would be better having one engine to work with, and pushing new expansions in different time periods would be easier. Origins is Egyptian and Odyssey is Greek. Part of the reason why they're doing this is so that they can focus on one unified team putting the games together. That's part of why they're doing it. And I don't think it got put in the notes, but that's part of the reason why they're wanting to do it. So they can focus on moving forward with the team as one team to focus on the goals of the game, as opposed to, this team doing this game and this team doing this game and this, kind of messing it up like that. They're wanting to be very focused on where they're going forward with the game.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And
it does.
And it's just going to be, I think if they do it spot on, I reckon if they do it perfectly right, who knows, could it be one of the best games they've ever made?
Could be.
Could be. Just that we have to wait and see. Fingers crossed.
You don't know till you try.
I cut you guys up just a little bit. If there's echo, let me know.
Minuscule
echo.
It's minuscule, be alright. So, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla have already been pushing towards a more live service multiplayer games format. Cosmetic DLC, free updates, so that's going to be good.
That'd be cool.
I've been told there's going to be no release date as of yet at the time. So I will not be surprised if it's going to be like a 2025. I reckon it's going to take a while. I think unless they're bringing all those back like they said and put it as one. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but as in a games development company, it takes a long time just to get everything spot on, and if you don't want to rush it to publish those as well. I mean, look what happened to Cyberpunk. Everyone was pushing to get that out, and they were like, "Oh, this is going to be the bestest game since sliced bread," and it was a rotten bread afterwards.
It was moldy bread.
Yeah, nice moldy
stale bread. It wasn't even moldy bread. It was moldy stale bread. Goya says same with Watch Dogs.
Same with Watch Dogs. Oh yeah, definitely. I was going to say shit bread, but try to be professional at the same time as well.
It was mature, so it's all
mature, good. Mature like cheese. Mature. So yeah, but yeah, I believe GTA 6 is reportedly may take the same approach. So they could be out due out 2024, 2025. So I've heard rumors of GTA 6, and everyone will know it's been out, been moaning, oh, where's going to be 6? By the time we get into PlayStation 10, the way we're going, we're still going to have GTA 5. We still have GTA 5, but on all those old formats and all the old consoles.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then you'd be like, oh, are we going to have a GTA 10? Well, where's GTA 6? Somewhere, yeah.
It's somewhere, just not there yet. It's just not getting there.
6, I think there wasn't leak saying that it was going to be back into Liberty City. Wasn't that the leak that was saying that they were going to go back to Liberty City stories? So I mean, they're going to go with a similar timeline. They'll have the different stories incorporated in the one. Goya says Cyberpunk story was all right, but yeah, bugs galore. And GTA 5 on your Samsung refrigerator.
I would not be surprised if we go on
the platform. You can even play it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Can I have GTA 10, please? No, mate. GTA 5. Just be rejected, mate. That's it.
Just straight in the bin. No.
Absolutely. It's like, shoot! And it's score.
Hi, Trapper. I see you in Milk's chat. I see you, buddy.
Hi. So, as we was mentioning, I mean, you guys know more on GTA as much as I do, to be fair, but do you actually feel like we are going to get... Oh, actually, here's a good question, actually. What's your thoughts of it going back, if it is going to be true, going back to Liberty City? Do you think they should have gone to another location, or do you think they should have done the correct way to get back? Do you feel like they're going backwards as well?
Personally, I feel like Liberty City was quite popular.
Yeah.
I think they're wanting to give fans that type of nostalgia with it and incorporate the different things that they've been doing with online into Liberty City, since they weren't doing it at the time. And since it was a popular area and there's a lot going on in that city, and when the game was out, they might incorporate some of the previous lines and other places as well, but the fact that they're going back to Liberty City first tells me that they're saying, okay, they might be saying, well, all opinion, all speculation. They might be taking it as this is something we wanted to do in Liberty City, but we couldn't do because we didn't have the ability to do it yet.
Yeah.
And now we do. So we're going to try and give this to the fans because there was a lot of moaning and complaining about some things, aspects of Liberty City, but the actual setting was still very popular.
Absolutely.
I think that's
Luke
a good point.
goes, RDR2 is absolute class, so imagine how GTA 6 would be like. And I thought they said it was going to be Vice City. It might be Vice City. I thought I had read it was Liberty City, but you could be right, Luke. I'm not sure. This is all speculation, and I'm trying to remember from history. But
yeah.
What's your thoughts there,
it could be either.
What's your thoughts of it?
I love GTA 5, to be honest. Because I played it on Xbox, and then I got rid of my Xbox and got it on PC. So, but I think it has come the time where we could do with a new game.
Yeah.
And it would be good to go back to the previous locations, whichever it is.
Yeah.
For the nostalgia part of it, like it's adding new things to it.
Yeah.
But also, if you go somewhere completely new, it's even more exciting because it's new and it's completely different. And you're not going to the same place, so I can kind of see both sides. But I like a new GTA.
Goya says it would be interesting if they made a Hawaii-inspired map with multiple islands to go to.
Yes,
that would be pretty cool because that was one of the things, having an island accessible in this last game was like really exciting. Like, oh, it's a whole nother map, type thing. So that would be kind of cool, Goya. I agree with you on that.
I like that idea.
I was just about to say, how would you feel if you had Liberty City, Vice City, San Andreas, everywhere, every GTA,
a bit of everywhere.
We want everywhere.
Oh, the GTAs.
They're just all linked together. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
You could choose like which map you want to go to. Oh, I want to go to San Andreas today. Okay, let's hop across the world and go to Vice City now.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
So let's go back to retro. Let's go back to the future. Let's go back to the past. But what?
Feeling it.
You can just have a little bit of everything whenever you fancy it.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, right? When you're in the mood for it.
Yeah,
I think that's what they should. I think that's what they like to do. To be fair, like build it up in one go and just see. Would they do like what Overcooked and what other games are doing? Like do the story mode in that era, in that game mode, in that map, and if you complete it, that map is open to all out online as well. But that's just opinion anyway. But that's just my opinion anyway. Dan says, to be fair, ain't most games going back to redo original? They are. I do agree. But sometimes. Me personally, I think sometimes it's a bad idea because you don't want to ruin a classic as well, unless they really are modernised. Like Crash Bandicoot, for example. Crash Bandicoot was without doubt the bestest game on PS1 ever.
That was awesome. It's pretty awesome.
And then they've remade it, and I thought, yes, perfect, absolutely perfect. Do not mess about with it now. And then I'm trying to think of a game that's remade that's crap, but I can't think of one. Do you know what I mean? Like recent.
The Spyro. I haven't played the Spyro trilogy yet. I don't know how that came out.
I haven't played them either.
That's really good. Spyro trilogy just feels like
PS1. My days were Spyro and Crash all day, every day. Spyro, Crash all the time. Spyro. Correction. Spyro, Crash, and Final Fantasy VIII. Those are my 3 games. That's what I played.
Just the 3 games. 3 games.
Just those 3, literally. I played Legend of Dragoon, but I played that in between. But the majority of my time was spent on Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, or Final Fantasy VIII.
How about you, Aries? What's your thoughts?
I mainly played like Mario games.
Mario.
I've never played Spyro, and I'm embarrassed to say that because everyone's played it apart from me. But it looks good. Like I'm tempted to get some of the newer ones. And
you should get the new trilogy. Good. I haven't played the new trilogy yet, but I have it there. I'm like, good. I'm gonna play it, but I haven't played it yet.
I do want to. Goya
said, "Well, they just released Zombie Ate My Neighbors, and it was not a great port." So
that there's one example that was having it as well. Because thank you. But yeah, it's just absolutely. There are times where you can remaster the game, and it's absolutely amazing. I remembered. I doubt it. You might remember. Do you remember Driver?
Yes, I remember Driver.
Driver.
I do not know.
I do.
Driver
I remember the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's Driver 1, Driver 2 on PS1. Then they made it to PS2. Yeah, PS2 with Driver 3. And they completely ballsed up that's franchise. Absolutely.
I think all I remember is the first one. That's the only one I played, and I wanted to play Driver 2. I think because I used to just drive around and crash into stuff. That's what I did. Trapper goes, Driver, awesome game, and Goya goes, Driver was my jam.
Poor Aries. She's like thinking, what's this Driver game?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, do I know what it is? I don't think I do know what it is.
Yeah, that's what the problem was, Goya. They tried to make a GTA and it didn't work. It had to compete with GTA. That was the problem. But it was still a great game.
I'll send you the image after the podcast, the stream itself.
And see what the game looked like. It was a pretty cool game.
Back in the day, it was absolutely amazing. But the third one that they did in PS2, they completely ballsed up, and then they made San Francisco on PS3. And I quite liked it, but it was really annoying because it was like he had to control. It was like he got hit, but he had to control himself on his eye, and it was awkward because it's like you had like that migraine kicking in when you're looking at it from the screen itself as well. But
Goya goes, those chase cams.
Those chase cams, yeah, that would be amazing. But I'd like to see remade, hopefully better as well. So I know we're going off topic. We do apologise, guys, for that. But
we've already made 30 minutes on one topic. It's okay. We're cool.
It's all good.
It's good.
Right. Have you played Red Dead much in the past? Red Dead Redemption?
I have not played Red Dead, but this is one that Luke might be interested in because he's been playing RDR2 a lot. So this may be something that he's interested in.
Oh, okay. So basically, Red Dead Online Blood Money Update, which is being referenced by PC Gamer. So check out their site. It comes out on July 30th, which is from the time that we do on the stream, is basically 3 days away. With new missions, rewards, and bonuses, and has a new trailer. I have not seen the trailer, so I can't really comment. But from what the notes that have been given, is basically in the trailer. The storyline seems involved as you work with Guido Martelli and Angelo Bront, if that's how you pronounce it, introduces new missions with crimes. The crimes will range from cloak and dagger coach holdups to multi-stage robberies, including kidnapping, brutal debt collections, and more. Can be done in solo or multi, so lone gun or posse on there, or collect capital and return to Martel.
I think it's capital.
Capital. See, I thank God we got Trance on the ball. To be fair.
Well, Trans is not eating her noodles right now.
Thank God. Thank God for that.
Eating some noodles.
Can you imagine if you said capitale, but it's
capitale.
It could be capitale.
Like an Italian twist on it.
Yeah.
What, a noodle twist? Twist.
Twist some noodles on it.
I'm tempted to get Trans to say it. Or eat it. No.
No, no.
Not eating the noodles, no. we don't want Trans choking on the noodles.
No. But it's just funny when you say like capitale. Unlock an opportunity. Mahir missions taking on Lemurane's Senator. 1 with this update, 2 more to come. So
yeah, the opportunities. The first one is going to come with this update, and there are 2 more opportunities in the works. And they go to the Lemoyne. I think it's Lemoyne Senator, and that's what the opportunities are. They're the missions to take on the Senator. So
nice. And then you got 4 new passes in Quick Draw Club, 25 gold bars each, but pay by the cost. Pay back. Yeah. The cost of completion. Skill and satchel habits available for general sale on the fence, including things such as ability to fast travel from a wilderness camp, and offers NVIDIA DLSS support for RDR2 and RDO2 users with GeForce RTX cards. So that's based on that.
That's a lot. That's a big update.
That
That's
was
a massive update.
It went from minuscule to like massive in matter of a few minutes.
Yeah, was huge.
That is a big update.
And they're doing the DLSS support for RDR2 now, which is great for any of the RTX cards that are out there. And the skill and satchel pamphlets, I guess they were special purchase items, but they're going to make them general sale in their shop, which is called Defense.
Oh,
so that's pretty cool. And yeah, guys, it's coming in like 3 days, like Malk said, like 3 days, and there's a whole bunch. I've got a few notes on here. Goya said Witcher 3 is supposed to have upgrades soon with Netflix DLC. I know that they also announced Witcher Con, which is coming, but we'll talk about that later. They announced that yesterday, he says, I think. Goya goes, I do like RDR2 online with friends. Luke goes, Dutch outfit. And Goya goes, you can at least buy RDR2 online without the single player. They might do a sale for this big update, but the story is great anyway, so I would go for the full game. And Luke goes, RDR2 online has been ignored for a year, so this is heaven. So yes, that's a lot of my notifications, guys. It's a lot of content in my chat. I'm loving it.
But what's your thoughts, Aries? Have you played much on Red Dead, or you're not a big fan?
I haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of people stream Red Dead Redemption 2. I think it was the second. That seems to be the one that people are streaming recently anyway. So yeah, I've seen a lot of it. It looks like a good game. I haven't played it though.
I bought it when it was out, and it was absolutely amazing. It just feels like the old Red Dead Redemption game on PS3 back in the day, and you just can't lose it, and it's like a prequel. So the way they've expanded the map and the way that they've done it as well is just absolutely amazing. Glove.
Hey, Glove. Yeah, I just know Glove. I was getting ready to make a call out. Go ahead now. It's your stream.
Is this an Asmir? No, mate. This is not Asmir's stream. I'm so sorry about that. With that,
This could be asking because I'm eating my noodles. It's a podcast, but it's kind of a mukbang because I'm eating noodles. So because this is lunch, I haven't eaten. This is lunch.
I'm jealous. Noodles sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm jealous.
I feel bad. I've had a Mackey's earlier.
I had one for lunch. So
you had one for lunch. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Bish, bash, bosh.
Luke just yelled at me. He goes, Trent, you should play RDR2 all caps. And Goya goes, RP servers for both GTA and RDR2 online are always a hoot.
Always a hoot as well. But yeah. I for the guys who love RDR...
That's right, Glover.
But yeah, at least you're doing it right with chopsticks. Yeah, absolutely. I hope Francis is doing it with the chopsticks perfectly, which from what we are seeing on screen, for the guys who are listening on the audio as well, she's doing it perfectly with the chopsticks and trying not to speak at the same time and trying not to
choke on the noodles.
Yeah.
The mic is right there, so I'm also trying not to eat in people's ears. That'd be weird.
That'll be the glove moment when it's like the Asmir stream. Yeah. Forget the podcast stream.
ASMR noodle eating.
Yeah, pretty. That's interesting. And yes, if I was to try and eat it any other way, I would be in so much trouble. So trust me. I have to eat with chopsticks.
I am speechless. I'm not going to say anymore.
I've only used chopsticks once when I was eating sushi. That's it. I haven't used them
once.
I'm not very good with them. I need practice.
No, I've tried it once with the chopstick, and I am absolutely useless. I'll just, that the sushi, I'll just get the stick, push it in, and it just get off topic as well.
Glove, this is going to be a 3-segment podcast. We're in updates right now, and Kane just said what I was having, so.
We have to keep cleaning her face.
It sounds nice.
And then Glove says, "I'll just eat noodles with my hands." Yeah, what? Just get the grab.
Yes,
absolutely. Just like,
tip the bowl.
Just tip the bowl.
Who needs hands?
I remember who was it? There was a movie that did it. Like someone did it recently. Not recently. I can't remember. But basically, they just tipped food on their face by accident. But I don't know what it was. But I can't remember. Oh, that was it. You probably won't remember The Cable Guy. By Jim Carrey.
That movie.
And he went on to they went to that night show, didn't they? When and he was trying to emulate the Silence of the Lambs on the food on his face as well. That was mad, to be fair.
Boy, he goes, I might make a rigatoni dish tonight and salsa, sausage, and wheat and whatnot. We're talking about food now. We're getting everybody hungry.
Yeah.
Segment.
Sorry, guys. That's my fault.
This is not the Bish Bosh podcast anymore. This is the food podcast.
This is the dinner. This is the dinner podcast.
This is in the podcast. But yeah, so
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm completely speechless with the food now because I feel I want more food now. So basically, carrying on with the new segments, we've got Singularity 6 raises $30 million in funding for Palia. Palia? Is that how you pronounce it? Palia. Yeah, Palia. And then you got VentureBeat from the VentureBeat.com website, so check them out. Investment will go to development and launch of the game and help the company deliver on the promise that it made for a beautiful, in speech marks, in quotes, a beautiful and fun online game experience designed to create community, friendships, and a sense of belonging. Well,
sounds good.
That sounds good.
Now, this is one that I'm excited about because I mentioned, you guys remember, I don't know if it was the E3 episode or if it was the first episode we ever did. I was talking about Palia, which is like a Stardew Valley style MMO. This is that game. Oh, they wound up raising $30 million to create this game because they were crowdfunding it. They weren't crowdfunding. They had investors, but they were talking about ramping up, purchase and all that stuff. A couple of things that I'm going to add as well, because I have the same notes that Malk does, is there were some really massive investors that put in for this game. Fun Plus, Andreessen Horowitz, or A16Z, I think that might be a display name. London Venture Partners, LVP. Transcend, Anthos Capital, and gaming veteran Mitch Lasky. So big time people had put a lot of effort into this, and they really want it to be a sense of community, and that's what they're going to use a lot of this money towards. There's some more notes that Malk's going to get to in just a minute on this topic, but yeah, I'm really excited about this. So that's a big thing for me, guys. That's like, I'm like,
I'm just gonna put the suspense on Trance and wait a bit longer just to see her. No,
put my notes in.
I know. You put.
If you don't, I will. You know, I will.
That sounds like a threat.
Damn you!
Segment Malk.
Damn you! Right, here we go. Right, as Trance mentioned, there was big time investors put into the game, and isn't that before carrying on with the segments? And this is not a tease or anything, but basically for those big time investors.
Could be inventors too. You never know.
You never know. But do you think that's a bit of a risk, though? Do you think that they were seriously going for it at this time? Do you think they were?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. It's always a risk when you get big time investors in any kind of like new project, and what it is they may have seen that the popularity of Stardew is coming back, and so the Stardew style MMO might be something. Hey, yeah, we'll jump in on this, but it's always a risk when someone is putting their own money or a part of their money in for their company, stop business, in to make something. And this is something that, and I was talking about this before. I was talking about this before with a different discussion. I can't remember what it was, but in film, it's the same way. You can say, oh, I've got this really awesome script and it's going to be great. But you got to have people who believe in you to make that script awesome and say, this is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do with the production. This is what's going to be the scenes. This is how we're going to make it happen. This is the ambiance we're looking for. This is the lighting we're going to use. And there's always a big risk when people, even if they have lots of money to spare, when big time investors put in for something, because if they put in for something and it comes out to be crap or the movie is a flop, then they've lost that money and it looks bad on them for trying to put in for this item in the first place.
Yeah.
So what these guys might have saw is the fact that they might have saw that they were interested, that the creators of the game were really focused on this type of, ambiance of MMO type style with the community and all that. And they also might have seen, since the popularity with the game Stardew Valley is coming back around and all those slice of life games that are coming out, they might say, oh, this might be something we can jump onto. We can at least have a hand in this.
Fair enough. What's your thoughts, Aries?
Yeah, I was thinking the same, because you said it's similar to Stardew Valley. Yes. And there's obviously, I think there's one called Littlewood that's kind of similar as well. Story of Seasons is kind of similar. All those are really popular at the minute. So maybe that's why it is a risk. And it's a lot of money as well that they've invested into it. But I think they're thinking, they're really popular kind of games. The developers are putting a lot of effort in. Hopefully it's going to go well and it's going to look good on them because they've invested in it as well. If it's a popular game, because Stardew is really popular. I know so many people that love that game.
Even now, it's oh, I remember playing this game. I need to play it again. Oh my gosh, I love this game.
Yeah.
It really popular.
You could tell I'm just chilling. I let the ladies talk.
Because Mal hasn't played it yet with me, so he doesn't know.
I've seen your streams. I've seen the streams.
You've seen them.
Yes,
but I haven't played it.
But I haven't played it. No, well, I'm just chilling. I know.
You have to play it then. You're gonna have to do it now.
You have to. You have to do it to play it. Aries, for real, we have to. We just have to.
So basically, it's either yes or hell yes. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
That's the only options here. Nothing else.
Bugger. I'll have to do it.
Goya put a couple conversations. He goes, the PUBG just got a new map as well called Taigo, which is Korean map with a big prison. PUBG is still kicking. So that's good to know. Also, hopefully they make their money back at least, which is most cases. They try to take the Chinese market, which helps a lot. And people like slice of life style games that are relaxing. I don't know, when you're hunting ghosts in the mines and not ghosts, but monsters in the mines and you're about to die in the mines, it's not as relaxing. Or you're trying to catch that legendary fish and it keeps running on you and you're like, it's so close.
Yeah,
and you're like, die, fish.
The deceiving game. So deceiving. It's like, oh my god, this is so cute and chilled. And then you go down the mines and it's like, oh, what is this? I didn't sign up for this.
What is this? This is crazy.
I completely lost with that.
No idea what's going on.
Seriously, you have to play it to understand. I'm serious. You have to play it to understand what we're talking about. You're like, oh, it looks so casual. It looks so nice and relaxing. Yeah, for most of the game, it's nice and relaxing until you got these really hard-pressed moments. I mean, if you watch my streams and you see me when I'm trying to catch something or I'm about to die in the mind, you're like, this does not seem very relaxing.
Yeah, this doesn't seem very chilled. What is this game?
I do remember that bit. That's what put me off with Stardew Valley with that. So yeah, pretty much with that. Yeah. Anywho, back
to... goes, Tom Nook is evil. Okay.
All I remember is just...
Fishing goes hard. Luke said fishing goes hard. It does. You're right.
Yeah.
I'll probably need to try it out and experience it, and then I probably will get the frustration kicking in, and I'll probably go bold after all that.
Yeah, it looks a cute game, but it's very stressful.
Yeah,
it's deceiving.
Yeah, it's just mad, to be fair. Chopper says they're doing a movie of Sam with Ham. Sam with Ham?
Sam with Ham? Really? Cool.
Yeah. What? Have they got cheese? Like mature?
No, no, because my character, when I was playing my game... Yeah, started joke. I know what you meant. I remember what you were talking about now. My character is trying to... romance Sam, and he told me that he wanted my character's name to be Pam, so it could be Pam, Sam, and then we have a kid and his name is Ham, so Pam, Sam, and Ham. And I'm like, well, my character's name's not Pam, and I'm not changing it.
It's a good idea.
Pam just for you. That's what I told him.
Sam with Ham.
Ham, Sam, and Ham.
Our
kid is going to be Ham. My character's name is Sam. Their baby is going to be named Ham. We've already established this.
Well, I'll be damned. To be fair.
Imagine just shouting Ham at somebody.
Goya goes fishing in Stardew is kind of fun. It is kind of fun, but it's also very stressful at certain
It's very
points.
stressful. Yeah, it's so hard.
It's like saying, "Oi, Ham, come on, get back in."
Yeah, just
anyway, back
right.
to Polya, because we keep getting off track. I don't mind us getting off track. I really don't. But I would like, but I like to get back. Could be worse.
Sorry.
Mal, Sam, and Pam could have had a lamb.
No. Could be worse, Mal. Sam and Pam could have had a lamb. Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Lamb or ham works, I think, either way.
Anyway,
is this a Dr. Seuss book? Goya goes, is this a Dr. Seuss book? That's exactly what I said when they first mentioned it to me. When Trevor was like, oh, I want the child to be named Ham. I said, there's a character named Pam. Oh, you need to date Pam. No, as I'm dating Sam. Well, Pam should be the character's name, and it'll be Pam, Sam, and Ham. So yeah, and I said, that sounds like Dr. Seuss. That's exactly what I said on the show.
Thanks.
Anyway,
before we carry on, thanks to Toad for the posture check. Oh, there we go. Posture check. So here we go. Let's go straight back to the news before Trans does actually kill me and not get spot on with this. Singularity 6 started by Aidan Biash or
Biash. It's Karabak.
I nearly said
Biash. Karabak. I think it's Karabak or Karabite.
I nearly pronounced it, said it wrong on there. And Anthony Lung, pre-release at Riot Games. The game is meant to be a meaningful and de-stressing.
That's what they said, yes.
And combines the welcoming atmosphere of a community sim with a massively multiplayer online experience, giving the players the chance to collaborate, explore, progress with new and old friends around the world. Isn't this like No Man's Sky or like GTA where we're just meeting people, new people?
Thanks, Dan.
Dan says, "Let me know if you need to stall anyone." I'll see where this is going, Dan. Some of the money will fund expansions on other platforms. Some will be used to recruit top-tier talent to add to the 56-person team. That does sound like Battlefield 2042 again, to be fair, coming back up.
I just meant that like the money, that $30 million, some of it's going to go to expansions on other platforms as well, but some of it they're going to recruit more people to get on this project.
Well, they're going to get spot on.
That's what I was saying.
That's
go ahead,
sorry. Put me on a perfect time. I can't speak. Alia is currently in pre-alpha testing phase with small groups of players to give feedback and make the game better. So,
yes,
we always have a debate. When we have, there's a brand new game like Cyberpunk, and it all builds up to say, this is going to be one of the bestest ever games ever. It's like, what else? Red Dead. I feel like when the new games come out, I feel like they die off after a month or so, and the excitement from all those years, and then it just dies down after like up to a month, and it's gone, and then a new game comes out. Do you feel like the pressure to keep it sustained, that maintainability, and keeping it like what GTA does as well? Do you think that will be different from that perspective, or do you think it'll be a little bit different in that sense?
What for Polya?
Yeah, like what I'm trying to say is like you see all the new games, everything's all built up to hype to like you got to get this game. You heard of GTA 6? It won't come out, mate. It'll be coming out when PS10 comes out on there.
GTA 6 and PS10.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? All that hype, and you're like, I'm excited for this, and then after a month, you're like, I don't want to play this game anymore because all the hype's gone.
Yeah.
Do you think that
personally? I mean, I think that's with anything though. But honestly, even now, like Stardew, because when I played Stardew, when I started Stardew 5 years ago, it was had been out for a little while. And I still had people coming into my chat saying, "Oh my gosh, I remember this game. I love this game." And so I really feel like everything pretty much comes back around anyway from the past. Everything kind of comes back around. It's just time and how things happen. Interests start coming back around. Things get so cool, so old they become cool again. But I feel like Stardew Valley and those type of games, even if the hype dies down for a while about it, it's going to always come back up, because there's always going to be a point where someone's going to be like, oh, I'm looking for a new fun game that's, enjoyable, mostly low stress, and because I'm playing all these stressful horror games and stuff, and and I want something different that's that's different, and even though Stardew wasn't the first game that did the play like it did, excuse me, soda, it was probably one of the ones that did it the best, maybe, because even Harvest Moon was good. And Harvest Moon was way before Stardew.
Yeah.
But Harvest Moon got a slight revival as well. Stardew came out, and I feel like I don't necessarily feel like Concerned Ape reinvented the wheel, but I feel like when he did Stardew, he's like, okay, I don't want this just to be just a farming sim. I don't want this just to be this type of game. I want it to have different aspects, so you can really actually build a relationship with these people within this town, and you can actually build a sense of community. And on top of that, the Stardew villagers, they act like they have their own schedules. Like, they do things when you're not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have their own schedules that they keep. So Palia wanting to kind of do a game like that, but make it into a multiplayer online type atmosphere, I can understand what they want to do that, because those type of games have a sense of community. They have a sense of bonding. They have a sense of those type of things that bring people together a lot. And even if it dies out, if the hype dies out on the game, oh yeah, Palia's been out for like 3 months. It's not that big of a big deal anymore. Somebody is going to come back and has never played Palia before and be like, "Oh, this is so cool! I love this game. This is amazing. This is my go-to casual game."
Yeah,
and there's always going to be someone who's going to keep that game alive, in my opinion, especially those type of slice of life games.
Could you do that again, please? Could you do that again, please, Trans? Because that was amazing.
I can't.
Oh, come on! This is amazing. This is amazing. This game.
Okay, let me go through a couple things that I have in my chat before we go further in this conversation. Goya had said, "Is this a Dr. Seuss book? Want some Tim Tams, little ham?" Then he said, "De-stressing Riot. Riot always makes rage games." Yeah, these are the previous dev leads at Riot. They made their own company with their own mindset for how they wanted games to be released. And he goes, "Oh, yesterday the new beta for Super Buckyball Tournament came out. They added a single player mode. It's kind of a soccer football hero thing. For a sports game, it's pretty good, easy to learn, hard to master. Looked at Knockout City, pretty much dodgeball. There is a market for stylized sports games and more of an arcade feel." So that was a big thing he just posted. And before we got too far, I wanted to hit it up.
No, that's cool. From my chat, while we've done Trance's chat, we're going to carry on. Shani, how you doing, Shani? I'll be okay, Ma. How you doing? And Glove says, talking about GTA 6, did you see that one of the Hauser brothers, the guys who set up the company Rockstar Games, has set up a new games company?
I did not see that.
No,
that would definitely be amazing news had I seen it.
No, well, Glove. Like a glove, as goes the news itself. So fantastic on that. But if you do know more about it, just send us the info about it. But that's
absolutely
all news to us with that. But we've got the final bit of the news segment. After nearly an hour. Normally it's half an hour of the segments.
And that is exactly why I was like, okay, let's bring it back.
Absolutely.
I was like, okay, let's bring it back, guys. Let's bring it back.
Wait, stop!
Don't want to get too distracted.
Nah.
Too much.
So the last segment of this part, or the last news that we have got for this week, is freelance asset and environment designer shows that what Skyrim would look like in Unreal Engine 5, and that's been referenced by Games Rants. Chris G. Hall00117 on YouTube recreates Whiterun Western Watchtower in early access version of Unreal Engine 5. Only rendered exterior and immediate surroundings, but looks excellent. I hope so. Anyway, sparked discussion about official or fan-made remaster. Discussion showed interest from fans for an official re-release. Also did a render of Good Springs from Fallout New Vegas in Unreal Engine 4. And check out his video on his page or search for it on YouTube. I'll say his name again in a minute. But you all heard of Unreal Engine. Well, I hope everyone does. If not, go away now. Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 4.
If you don't know Unreal Engine, where have you been hiding?
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here, just around the corner. I'm here. But yeah, it was just mad stuff, to be fair. You all right, Trans? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, thank God for that. I was
fine.
under a lot of pressure with this podcast and stuff.
No,
So,
I'm fine.
That's good. So basically, they did the Unreal Engine, and I am really impressed with how like the game's designers and how they made like the realistic of the whole, like either it's a part of the mission or part of the whole world itself, the map itself. I always would love to do that, like as a I did games development actually in the past, but not as a designer. But the way it looks, like to make it, that's going to take years to make it perfection.
Yeah.
And funny enough, with Unreal Engine, I've seen some people, and this is a good topic for you actually, Aries. I don't know if you've seen it as well, but someone did a video in Unreal Engine, not in 5, but in 4. Someone did the actual Mario series back in Unreal Engine. I don't know if it's from the same guy.
I don't think I've seen it, but it sounds good. But I like my Mario games.
I knew I brought that up because I thought, oh, Aries would like Mario. I want to see.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's
fun.
I think this was before. Was this before the Switch came out? Like when they did the Unreal stuff. Like I can't remember exactly. I have to send you the video and stuff. Anyway, but
yeah, sounds good.
But
well, the reason why I brought this up as a topic on our discussion in our news section is because last week Rogue had made a comment about doing the new games from Bethesda in Unreal Engine 5. And so then I saw this card and I'm like, oh, somebody actually did do a remodel of it with using Unreal 5 models. Now, like the note said, it was just the external of the watchtower, but the vegetation looks really great. It's nice and lush. There's not nice depth of field. The textures are really good. And Glove says, shame Bethesda will never use a game engine that isn't their own. And that's one of the things that I thought was like, the fans were like, this looks amazing. We would love to see an official remake. And then the comment in the article was like, that they probably wouldn't do that because it's been out for so long. It's had so many re-releases, but the fans would be like, we don't care. We would love to see this version of this game because it looks really beautiful. We would love to have an actual official re-release. The fan-made one might take a while, given. But like if Bethesda was to put their sources on it, then it would be better. If they decided to ever go that way, I don't think they will. But it was interesting to me because Rogue had made a comment about using Unreal Engine for Skyrim 6 that's in development right now.
Absolutely. And what's your thoughts about that, Aries?
Sorry. Elder Scrolls 6. Corrected myself. I know what I'm talking
about. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. On there. Trans. What's your thoughts of it, Aries, of like Unreal Engine? Like you must have heard it absolutely anyway. But what's your thoughts of like the Bethesda? I have to pronounce it, but yeah, with their company. To be fair,
yeah, I have heard of it, but I've not really seen not the Skyrim anyway because it said what Skyrim would look like. I haven't seen anything to do with Skyrim. Yeah. I've never played Skyrim, but I've seen a lot of people play it. But
I think you would like Skyrim. Beautiful.
It looks like a fun game.
Nice.
I could maybe give it a try.
Give it a try. Well,
it sounds cool, like having all the different graphics and stuff. And if that's what the fans have said, oh, this is really cool with like a re-release, and they're like, no, it's been out too long, we're not doing that. Do you know, like if the fans want it, I feel like it's going to go down very well if they did something like that.
Well, it was just a discussion, and like there was no notification from Bethesda, but Bethesda has been using their creation engine, and actually Glove mentioned that too. I just noticed it in your chat, Malk. They upgraded the creation engine for Starfield, right? They've called it Creation Engine 2 and testing it out with Starfield before going full ahead with Elder Scrolls 6. Yes. that was a discussion last week that Elder Scrolls 6 was coming out. It was in design phase, and they were using the technology to see if it was going to handle what they wanted it to handle. Now, Starfield looks beautiful in Creation Engine 2. I saw the trailer for E3, and it looks gorgeous, and I think that the models are just going to be so beautiful. So I hope... But the trick of it is it may look beautiful, but how are the glitches going to be? How are the bugs going to be? What's going to happen?
Always an issue with stuff like that.
Yeah, and they did focus on a lot of detail with Creation Engine 2. Todd Howard specifically said that they focused on the detail. There's a sandwich in I don't know if you saw the trailer or not, Glove, but there was a sandwich in that trailer, and he said they spent a lot of time detailing that cheese on that sandwich. That was something and they made a very big point of focusing on the little bitty details, which shows me that they're really trying to get it right. So hopefully we'll see how it goes, see how the glitches go. I also have a couple on my chat that I was going to go over real quick before we continue, because I'm also popping stuff as commands. Coral Island is another cool slice of life game in the works with many villagers to interact with. Lots of different animals to care for. One of the cool things you can do is dive, where you can meet mermaids, which is another community you can interact with, even romance. That's kind of cool. That sounds really awesome. Who doesn't want to date a mermaid?
Exactly. I'm down for that.
Are you down for that, Malk? Are you down for dating a mermaid?
I am not commenting in any way possible.
No comment there.
No comment.
Quiet.
Shandy goes, love you, beautiful. Good to see you. She had subscribed for 6 months. So, yay, Shandy, 6-month subscription.
Nice.
Then Goya says Mario is fun. We were talking about Mario. And Goya also says, well, they also have to answer to Microsoft now, so that might be smoother. That's very true. That's another point. Since Microsoft owns Bethesda now, they may have to... it might be micromanaging everything. And say, okay, this is what we're focusing on. This is how it's going to look. And we want it to be to the quality that we're expecting. So they may be micromanaging and making them focus on the details. That's a good possibility.
Absolutely. And Glove said, spent more time developing cheese, mature like cheese, than they did Fallout 76. Am I right? I do agree.
Lots of time on the cheese. According coming out of Todd Howard's mouth, he says, we spent a lot of time on that cheese.
Just everybody cares about the cheese, okay? It has to be perfect.
You have to see the trailer to know what we're talking about.
It's like magnifique.
It's a very detailed piece of cheese.
What specific?
I never thought that cheese could be so detailed.
Absolutely. Like mature cheese.
Mature cheese.
Mature cheese.
Mature like cheese.
You guys will have to put that as a hashtag next time. Forget the Bish Bosh anymore. Mature cheese on there. So that's all I've got for the segment after an hour and 5 of the stream itself. And like I said,
had so many distractions. It's all good.
There's so many
cool. There was food involved,
cheese,
and there was food conversation, and there was detailed cheese, and there was talking about Stardew.
Yeah. A lot of Stardew.
We got off track. I was just trying to get us back on track. That's all I was worried about.
Yeah. I'll remember that next time. Wink, wink on there. So
I'm okay with us getting off track. It's just if we can get back on track. We were kind of going off the rails for a minute there.
We need to get back at some point.
Okay, here's the branch. We got to get back to the main line somewhere.
Yes, miss. We'll have to do that again next time. So basically, we've done the first segment, which is the PC console news. That was epic. Absolutely double the time of the epic times of the segment. Now, I'm going to go stop all that, and I'll let Trance carry on, because we're going to talk about our main discussion topic, which, Trance, the hostess with the mostess, it's over to you.
Thank you. So today's discussion is we're going to be discussing the ever-ambiguous indie title. With the release of so many games coming out from E3's presentation, and of course just games coming out in general, that use the indie title or the indie label in their tag. There was an article I found that really had me thinking about. I was like, this is a really good topic. We should discuss this on the show on the 10th. And the article's topic was called Opinion, Indie Has Lost Its Meaning, and it was by IGN Middle East, I believe. And I was reading it through, and it was talking about how a lot of the old indie titles and how it's changed, how the word indie has changed over time. So I wanted us to get into a discussion about why we think it's changed, what constitutes an indie game, and if any particular companies or whatever might have the right to use the term indie, if there is such a thing that exists, or what it could actually be that causes a game to be considered indie. So I will go ahead and pass the baton off to Malk to actually discuss it first because he's over here.
No pressure. No pressure.
No.
So I am handing the speaking stick to you, Malk.
Thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks, putting me under a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, no pressure. It's all good.
Phew, thank God for that. Basically, indie. Now, the term indie, I always remember it's like the old classic 2D games whether it's like a brand new one that they brought out, because it went from 2D back in the early 90s, like mid 90s, and then they stopped it because they brought out like the 3D effects, and then all of a sudden recently, well, not recently, but back then, they had the term indie, and it was like games where you would not expect to play on, but it's like a 2D effect, and it brought back the old retro people, should we say?
Retro appeal, yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of brings back that. Is it nostalgia? Is that the right word to say, or is it bring back the effects?
That's a good word. That's a good word. Nostalgia works.
Thank God for that. I am. Thank God it works.
It's a usable term.
It's a usable term. Thanks for that. Put me under a lot of pressure on the next question on that one. So
there's no right or wrong answers here, Malk.
But thanks, Trans. Basically, with indie, there's not much pressure, I think, because it's just 2D. It's like Mario all over again, but in different characters, different environments, different everything as well. But in everyone's perspective, I don't think there's much pressure, because it's just like a scroll, isn't it? Or 2D effect, I think. Personally.
Well, we're discussing what indie means to us and what we think of when we think of the word indie game. So if that's what you think of when you think of indie game, then that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, in that perspective, that's how my terminology of it and how I think of it of the word indie as well. But I've seen so many indie games coming out, and I don't know whether it's just trying to lose its what's the word I'm after? Lose its fans of the retro side, because there's too many, and there's another indie game. There's another indie game. There's another indie game as well, and I think it's just gone dying down, and it just loses its meaning, loses its title, I think, personally, and I don't know, unless they bring back a remastered version of it, what's the point? I think it's just died down a bit, I think, personally.
Yeah.
Do you want to give a comment next, Aries, or would you like me to comment?
No pressure.
I don't mind.
No pressure.
I kind of agree with what Malk said about the 2D effect of the games, because that's what I think of with indie games. There's one on the Switch that I've got recently called Cattails. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. I had never heard of it. I just came across it one day. And that's labeled as an indie game. And it's kind of like Stardew Valley, but you're a cat and you walk around this little world and you fight off other cats. It's kind of strange. But that's what I imagined an indie game to be. It's a bit of a smaller game. It's not really popular and well known.
Yeah.
Like a 2D kind of thing as well. It's more of Malk said, a retro style. That's what I picture anyway for those kind of games. But I don't actually, I don't know the full definition of it, but I agree with Malk.
Oh, thanks.
Luke made a comment that I'm going to actually expand on that when it becomes my turn to talk about it. So Aries still has the talking stick, so we'll let her finish. We'll let her finish what she's saying first.
I don't know, the bit about the smaller game developers, that's kind of more what I pictured for indie games. It's not the GTA 5 and stuff, massive game developers, the smaller ones that make cute dainty games, Stuff like that, not like the massive companies.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
Personally, for me, when I think of indie game, when I think of indie music as well, I think of stuff that's not mainstream. I think of when you think of indie music, you think of something that's not in the mainstream. It could be any kind of feel. It could have any kind of concept in the song, but it's just not mainstream. And Luke, yes, I agree with you. He goes, isn't indie games just games by smaller unknown developers who don't have the bigger budget studios have? Yes, that is part of what for me is indie games. And the article kind of referenced that, that there's companies that no longer that are companies that are not 5-man teams or less using the term indie. There is bigger companies, saying, oh, this is an indie game. And so it kind of leads to the question of, has indie, instead of it being like, okay, this is what this means, this is what this terminology is, it's a unknown developer, smaller company, not a big budget. It's an ambience to the game. And personally, I feel like if a game has like 25 or less, well, I would say probably 15 or less people working on the project, under 20 for sure, it would be considered an indie game because they don't have a big budget. They're working on a smaller budget. I also consider indie games to be with different models as well, which comes to y'all's point of the 2D scrollers. Some indie games are 2D scrollers. I mean, Stardew was considered an indie game. That was one person creating a whole game, and he made it as a 2D scroller, but it still had like a full effect feel,
Yeah.
Meat Boy was 2D scroller. That was considered an indie game. That was a small team as well. And it makes me wonder, and I'll put this question to you guys too. It makes me wonder, as well as the chat, it makes me wonder if people are saying, oh, indie's a fad now, let's use this label for our game, even though we have 50 people working on this team. You know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder if, they're saying, oh, we're going to jump on the indie bandwagon because it's what's popular now. So it makes me question that type of mindset. So I'll throw that back to you guys as well. Luke did say, well, I don't think the meaning has changed. Studios are just exploiting the term indie to get a bigger audience. At least that's what I think from what you just told me. Yes, and that's kind of what I'm talking about, Luke. I feel like they're using the term loosely, and since there's no definition for what an indie game is, it's very ambiguous what an indie game is. It's just what people consider when they think of an indie game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's no solid definition of what it means. It's they're using the term to try and jump on a bandwagon and say, oh, this is popular. Let's call ourselves an indie game, And it makes me wonder, should there be like a more solid definition of what an indie game would be called? Do you guys think?
Just an indie game.
Do you think there should be more of a solid definition of what the word indie should mean?
I think that's I feel like it's difficult to add like a solid definition to it. But I think we all kind of agree with like the smaller companies and game developers kind of thing. So you could kind of attach that to it and say, indies for the smaller developers. Obviously, the bigger developers have a larger following, more people play the games, buy add-ons and stuff. Whereas the smaller ones, if there's less people playing and they have like in-game purchases and stuff, less people are purchasing the stuff. So you kind of want to push it out there so they can use the indie label and get their games out there. So that could fit for the smaller game developers.
Absolutely.
I don't know about game style kind of definition though.
I do agree with you, Aries, with that, to be fair, because you just need the smaller companies to like give you that big oomph to get it out as well, to try and help them out as well. But at the same time, I feel like they're not getting the good recognition. Or is it good recognition? Is that a good word to say? Like the recognition that they need. Like
the recognition they deserve, maybe? Or
like the recognition that they deserve more because and to be fair, I think some of the 2D games, like I call indie like 2D games. That's how I see it, and but then again, it's like Mario back in the day, like in the early days. That's like 2D, so shouldn't that be like an indie game at the time? But I know Nintendo was big at the time, but it kind of felt like it was like a scrollable type at the time. But it was like, for indie type, I still think it's a 2D effect, and it will always will be 2D effect to me. But we're in a smaller company and smaller
Yeah.
situation.
I mean, we also come from the generation with those 2D effect games that were listed in, like Super Meat Boy and other games like that. We came from that generation where we had this is an indie, you know, quirky, out of the mainstream title, and it's a 2D scroller, and this is the type of models we're using. You have a couple mentions in your chat. You can cover those, and I've got something by Luke as well if you want to go with your chat first, Malk.
Cool. Yeah. I was just about to say, GG, how you doing, GG? Hope you came well.
Hi, GG.
It's just, I agree with Aries. This was earlier on before we'd had the other discussion of the indie type. This is, I agree with Aries. Smaller games for smaller teams, like a game made by friends rather than a big corporation. Lemon Cake. I do see your streams, by the way. GG with Lemon Cake. I feel like I want some food with Lemon Cake.
It's such a good game. Like, the food looks so nice.
It's so addictive. To be fair, so addictive. Lemon Cake is an indie game, and that's awesome and unique. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, can I have a sweet shop? Yeah. Do you want some cake? Do you want some ice cream?
Have a nice little bakery.
I like how, I don't know if you've seen it in more depth with the Lemon Cake. They brought the animation, just like, let's get some ice, get some cream, dip it into the ice within 1 minute.
I want ice cream now. I want cake and ice cream. Damn it, you guys. I want cake and ice cream now.
I do as well.
I can't get cake and ice cream right now. It's horrible. So dejected.
Oh, poor Chance. Poor Chance. There you go. Send you all the love.
Can somebody throw me like an impromptu birthday party and order me some cake and ice cream? I'd be happy.
Yeah, we'll just send you some cake over.
Unfortunately.
Post some cake across the world.
Across the ocean. I don't know what quality it'll be when it gets here.
It'll be very stale. But you still got cake.
Yeah, it won't be cake, it'll be melted. Cake? Melted? Melted? No. Glove, like a glove. I would consider games like a Plague Tale and Hellblade indie games too, to be honest, as if they were self-funded and self-published. Even a game like A Way Out was made by a small team and was self-funded, but then EA decided to publish it. That's a good story with that. And I think he's also put. I think people have the mindset of the 2D game is indie game, which I was mentioning about a couple of times, because a lot of the first indie games were mostly 2D due to having to develop on a small budget, which is absolutely correct statements from Glove.
Yeah, totally. Luke says regulating the term indie is hard. Maybe let PlayStation, Microsoft, and Steam, just name a few, label the games as indie or not. I think letting them say, hey, we're saying, if the publisher says, hey, we're putting out an indie game, and Steam's like, well, they have like maybe Steam has a questionnaire about the game or whatever, just to get some information on it.
Yeah.
So if they were to say, okay, we're this is our indie game, and then the Steam's like, okay, well, they have 50 people on the team, they had a budget of such and such that included investors like such and such and such and such. Yeah, this isn't considered an indie game. We're not going to label it as an indie game. But that would be really hard, because then they would have to go through every single game and greenlight it by going through the information on the questionnaire or whatever they would use to determine whether or not the game was indie. And but also, honestly, to tell you the truth, you were talking about the 2D models and stuff like that. Honestly, from what I know, I mean, I don't know if it's listed like that, but somebody told me that even since I've been playing it more now, Phasmophobia was developed by a small team as well. And I think it was one person who created the concept of the game, and then they had a small team or whatever. So to me, that makes me wonder, would that be considered an indie game as well, even though the models are really ambient? I don't know what kind of budget they had for the game. It's still in early access, so it's whatever. But I mean, so it's one of those things, like, it's such a weird thing to really lock down on. Like, do you consider this to be indie because it's this type of thing? Is it a small company, big company thing? Is it a funding thing? What is it that makes a game indie?
Yeah, it is. It is hard to like pin a specific thing to it, because I would say I like the 2D bits. Like I would say that's indie, but not just 2D games, because like Gigi said, Lemon Cake, I would say that's an indie game. Like my labels are like cute and quaint and unique kind of things. So like people have seen me stream Calico before. That's a really cute game. It's like a little cat cafe game. It's great game. I loved it. But that would be an indie game, and that, you know, like a small developed game, and it's really cute, you know, kind of unique. That's what I would that's my little label that I'd put on it. Cute and unique.
Unique, and
that's it. If it's cute, unique, and small company, it's got the stamp of indie approval for Aries.
Yes,
Aries definition of an indie game.
The indie on it.
Whoa! Wow! I'll have to get that. I'll have to get that signed and sealed and delivered with that indie approval. With that, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glove says, would we consider... Here's a good one for you guys, actually. Would we consider Cyberpunk 2017... We're going backwards. 2077 to be an indie game because it was self-funded and self-published. Do you agree with that as well?
I even though it was hyped up, I mean, self-funded and self-published, to me, gives at least a portion of an indie label, because you don't have like big investors or big companies backing you and pushing you to, you know, saying, hey, we want to get this out, But I mean, I know that Cyberpunk was kind of pushed to be released anyway, but I mean, I consider anything that would be self-funded and self-published to even at least have to be considered as an indie game, at least. You know, even if you don't say, okay, completely solid indie, this is 100% check marks, 100%, that's at least 2 check marks in my mind that constitute something that would be considered indie.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I would throw it in the category. Not 100%, but it'd be in there somewhere.
Throw it in. Throw it deep end. That's it. Glove says, a CD Projekt Red is an independent studio. It's not a subsidiary of a bigger company. Okay. GG says, is Calico the one with the yeeting pig?
Yes, it was the yeeting pig game.
Glove says, Aries loves to yeet and pigs. I am not commenting in any way possible. I watched that stream live, and I tell you what, that was one of the bestest ever clipped moments. And Aries,
I have to see the clips now.
Oh, you have to watch it.
I'll have to watch the clips.
I was in tears for about half an hour. I couldn't stop laughing.
I love those moments. They're great.
Yeah.
And then I put poor pig, and then Aries started laughing from the phone.
Yeah, because it was like a glitch in the game. It like sat down and it picked the pig up and like threw it backwards. So I just started laughing, and obviously like Malcolm in chat laughing, and then I calmed down, and it was just like poor pig, and then I was just like crying again, like proper tears. I couldn't. I don't know what happened. The poor pig.
Stitches. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be horrible. In the best way. Luke had said, Friday Night Funkin', for example, is a textbook example of an indie game. Small team, simple game on new grounds, but the term indie gets complicated when the game reaches massive popularity and the studio grows. Is it still indie? Think of Minecraft. Started really small, is now considered a AAA game. Also added Cyberpunk 2077, not at all. The Polish government invested all the game. PogChamp. But I mean, yes, Minecraft was an indie game at one point. It was considered an indie game because it was small team created by one man with his small team working on the project. And Mel, go over there with the guns.
Yeah. One man. One man. This is like one man team.
A strong man.
That's
strong man creating the game.
Yeah.
Back to what I was saying. So that was considered an indie game at one point. And I started when that was in an indie game. It had just come out of beta, it had just come out of alpha for not so long, and it was into beta. And all the updates were still coming through. They were still doing adjustments to the game. They were still making changes. They were still doing this. But also, Mojang also sold out to Microsoft as well. So that, I think it was Microsoft.
Okay.
I think it was Microsoft, but Mojang sold out, so that no longer was considered part of a small company with an independent creation team with a small team working on this project. It wound up getting way bigger than itself, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it got way bigger than even he thought it was going to get. He's like, oh, this is a cool little game I want to make. Oh my gosh, it's just blown up.
I think it was just the textures, wasn't it? And the way that it was just all like blocks and like 2D effects. And
yeah, it's definitely something different.
It was so different, and it was not mainstream gaming. It was not what they were putting out there. It was this is something cool. It's a sandbox game. Check this out. This is a nice thing. We can hang out as friends together. We can build together. We can make whatever the heck we want with whatever the heck we want. We can kill the monsters. We can do this. We can do that. We can live our own little life in this little world that we've created from this little generated RNG seed. So, I mean, it really was different from everything that was coming out, and it was just amazing, and it just got so big so fast.
Yeah.
And even the company, even Mojang, I think, was like, whoa, this is weird. And then we got to the point where the creator's like, you know what? I'm just selling this shit. And he pretty much sold it off. And he got a good sell for it, too. He's probably set for the rest of his life.
Yeah,
but I mean, he probably still gets royalties, to be honest. but no, and so yeah, it got so big, and it just pretty much grew into more than what I guess more than the sum of its parts is the best way I can put it, because it was, as a whole, it became huge when all the patches came in. Oh, we're adding ores. Oh, we're adding this. Oh, we're adding that. Oh, we're adding this texture, that texture. Oh, you can mod this game. Oh, look, you can do this. You can do that. So, I mean, in that aspect, unless it comes from a big company from the ground up, it says, okay, we're building this thing all the way up, like, let's say, Bethesda with their games, that wouldn't be in this category at all. So unless it's a big company with a big team working on it from day one, would you consider that every game that started out small, and even if it grew beyond itself, becomes an indie game from day one?
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like...
Do you feel that you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I feel like I would say if it started out as an indie game, I would probably still call it an indie game. But I don't know what I would call it to change the category kind of thing. So like it started as an indie game, but then it got bought and it's now really popular. I wouldn't know like how to refer to it. I'd probably still refer to it as an indie game. But I don't know.
It just depends on how it all started, isn't it? And how it all began.
Yeah.
And how it's meant to be done as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like any game that starts out as a small team with even if it's just like 10 people working on it, not a big studio, maybe working out of someone's garage or working in a science tech lab or something, considered as an indie game, even if it grows to be way bigger than, the intended original, I guess the original intent of the game. Like, would you consider every game that starts out like that to be an indie game, even when it gets way bigger than itself?
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with you guys, to be fair, because it's just, as I said, it all depends on how everything all builds up and how they do it from the start, and how it all began. That's how we all see it. I know earlier on I said when you hear the word indie, I always think of 2D because that's how it all began, everything all began and stuff. But as you said, like with Minecraft and all the other companies that have got started off as small and then they're outbought or outright after, I will still call them as what they originally were from the start. But then people may think they differ because of the different generations, like the old uns and then the young uns. Do you know what I mean? As well, they have different ways of how they're calling it. And they'll probably say that that's not an indie game, that's like a popular game because it's outburst to everything else. So
that put Stardew on blast too, because Stardew, it was an indie game from day one. I mean, and people still consider it to be one of the best indie games of its type, even now, all these years after its original release. But it's gotten way bigger in popularity. It's gotten so big that games are starting to say, oh, we want to do this Stardew like game with this concept, or with this twist, or with this game, or with this game, with this thing. It's gotten so big that it's actually having companies say, hey, we want to grow this into like a Stardew type thing. But I mean, and it's still considered an indie game because it's still considered outside of the mainstream. The mainstream is coming to Stardew, in my opinion, because people are getting popular with the slice of life, and more slice of life games are being made to try and compete with its popularity. So I feel like I consider Stardew still outside of the mainstream, even though it's gotten so popular. I would still consider it an indie game.
Yeah, I would as well. I would still call it an indie game. Yeah.
Hat trick of indie games as well. So 1, 2, 3. Bish Glove quickly says, "Did you know Notch basically stole Minecraft?" Have you heard about that?
I think I heard something about that, but I didn't get the details on it, Glove. So I don't know what the details or specifications are on that, but I think I might have heard something about it. Something about somebody he knew had the idea, and he's the one that actually made it happen, or something like that. It was something like that. I just can't remember what the specifics were. Sorry for all the redundancy, but this is me trying to work through my mind, guys. This is where my mind goes.
That's how she rolls.
That's how we roll.
If you watch my streams long enough, this happens all the time. Trent will just be like, oh yeah, I think it was something like da 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 and da 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 da, and I get redundant because I'm trying to work through it in my own head.
All the time, Aries.
It happens a lot.
Stuff happens. It's all good.
No shame. No shame.
Have you got any more about the indie type of segment, or are you happy with everything that we discussed about
Luke
indie?
says, not just a disgusting person, a white supremacist. I don't know the specifications behind those allegations. I don't know if that's true or not. This is where we should separate the art from the artist. If somebody is a person who is not a good person, then yes, I agree with you. The art from the artist, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you guys on there, if you've got any more questions about the indie type stuff, bring them in. We'll talk about it later on the last bit of the Ask Us Anything. But now, let's go from fishing, back from the main discussion topic, to now talk about the interview with the streamer.
Now, the analogy of that was reeling it in. So, yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay. We were reeling it in on that main discussion topic into the next topic. That's what that was.
Yeah. I'm not on the ball. You know me by now. I'm not on the ball all the time. You know this.
We'll get there.
Sometimes you don't even know where the ball is, Malcolm, to be honest.
It's gone. It's miles away.
True. You know it's true, buddy.
I'm not commenting.
I love you, but you know it's true. Aries, am I correct? Yes.
Yes,
so,
I agree. I'm sorry.
You're wrong, buddy. I do.
I knew that was going to happen.
Sometimes you're on the other end of the court. So.
The ball has just gone.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine.
It's fine.
Tess goes, lol, it's fishing it in now. Hi, Tessa.
How you doing?
Thank you, darling. All the love to you. Thank you for being here, sweetie.
So, as you can see at the bottom, when we got rudely interrupted, off the ball type stuff, interview with the streamer of the awkward area. She's not awkward.
It's not my fault that you got the wrong analogy. I was going to describe it in a minute, if you just give me a second. I was going to go into what I was doing there.
Yeah. So we've finally been able to get to the third segment after an hour and a half or an hour and 30.
Tesco's petition to change it to fishing it in.
Fishing it in. Yeah.
Term to fishing it in instead of reeling it in.
I'm not going to say anymore now. No comment anymore with that. So here we go.
I'm really not trying to gang up on you, Mal. And for those who are watching, I'm not trying to gang up on him. He knows I love him. He knows that. He knows he's one of my dearest friends. It's just one of those moments I got to call him out. He calls me out too. It happens.
It happens sometimes. It's all good.
He calls me out a lot.
Anywho, back to segment 3.
Anyway.
back to segment 3 with the interview with the streamer of the awkward house. She's not awkward. She's absolutely legend. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dare.
I can only go so long.
When does it come?
I'm so tempted to just do that next time and just forget about it.
Just hold it. Just never finish.
Yeah.
For those who are listening on audio, so I started doing this little thing, like this little legend, and just like holding my finger in the air until he says dairy and then pointing down. And yeah, he had me going for a minute there. It was back and forth. It looked like I was doing a audience cheering rating or something. It was very weird.
Absolutely. And it's just a habit. Really. So what we do with the interview is basically we asked the interview of the streamer, basically Aries, down below, asked her to pick 8 numbers out of 15. These questions are going to be different each time. They're going to be at random. Yes, you might hear some of the questions that are previously heard from previous times, but I can assure you these are random numbers at random times as well. I promise you that as well.
You got Glove doing it now. That was a 38-second hold.
Yeah. See, Glove
Big
knows.
hold in the chat.
Glove knows. Give him some points afterwards. That'll be it.
It's your chat, not mine, buddy. You gotta give him points.
Yeah, I'll sort that after next time, Glove. Basically, so we off topic now. Basically, 8 questions to Aries to talk about her experience of the streamers itself, and she'll be absolutely loving him with these questions. To be fair, so here we go. Okay. So, when was the moment you really decided to take up gaming as a hobby?
That's an interesting one, because I was like one of those sad kids that just like to sit in my room and play games. I'm not gonna lie. I was.
Me too.
Yeah, I was one of those kids.
I was out with my friends, but at the end of the day, it was always about the games.
Yeah, I agree. I was the same. But yeah, Minecraft. Since we're talking about Minecraft, that was like the first game I ever played. Like, I loved Minecraft. I'll still play it now. But that was the first game, and I was playing it, and I was really young, and I was like, this is so cool. I can build stuff with blocks. And that was kind of what set it off. Was like, oh, this is a nice game. And as I got older, I saw there was more games out there. I was like, do you know what? This is cool.
Yeah.
I got an Xbox, because I just used to have Minecraft on my laptop. But I got an Xbox for Christmas, and then got like Halo. I got Minecraft on the Xbox. I think I got COD Ghosts on the Xbox, and like once I started playing more games, that was like, do you know what? This is the hobby for me. Like, this is a really fun hobby. You can kind of just sit on your own, chill out, play games.
No distractions.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't mind going out, and like, obviously I was a kid, so like, you'd go and knock on your neighbour's door and be like, you coming out to play? Like, I don't mind doing that every now and again, but I would prefer to just like sit and chill in my room and play a game. So I was like just I don't know how old I was, but I was a fairly young kid when I started playing games.
Oh, fair dues. Oh, that we have to get the Minecraft situation going and try.
Well, Ted has that server going now. Luke goes, when Teddy came back, the inner architect and me resurfaced PogChamp. Goya says, so going to cook dinner here. I had to cook early because I take care of my great aunt, so old people time. That's okay. Go ahead, take your time, Goya. Enjoy.
Cool.
Glove says, I was really young. I discovered Minecraft, making me feel like an old man.
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Yeah.
Don't get bad, Gloves. I wasn't that young when I found Minecraft either.
The grey hairs is kicking in as well, to be fair. From all
I got them too.
I can't see it at all.
If you were here with me, you'd see them.
Anywho, let's go back to questions itself. Who are some of your biggest influences in gaming / streaming?
I watched a lot of YouTube, so that's where that started. I didn't really know Twitch was a thing until a few years ago, so it was YouTube for me. But I watched PewDiePie. I have to admit, I did used to be a fan of PewDiePie, and his Yeah, I liked his videos. So, like, I wouldn't say I looked up to him thinking I want to be him, but I was like, people actually record themselves and put it on the internet playing games. So I did get a bit obsessed with watching his stuff. And then there was like Jacksepticeye and all those. They kind of all like started around the same time. So it was like that bunch of YouTubers for me that was around when I was younger. So they were kind of the influence that, do you know what? This is actually really cool that people film themselves playing games and that people sit and watch it as well. You know, like I enjoyed sitting and watching it. So like, it's a thing.
Why wouldn't somebody else, right?
Yeah. Like I was probably I don't know, early teens when I was like, it'd be really cool to stream or film myself playing games. But like early teens, like you're not gonna do that. It's not, I don't want to put myself out there at a young age and stuff. So I was like, maybe I'll do it at some point, but I don't know. And then I just kind of didn't think about it again.
Okay. It was just, I think something must have kicked you to say, "Oh, I want to do it now." Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the content of the streams that you do, areas like with the Valorant and all the other stuff that you do, and I really do enjoy it. And it's good to see you expand, and I hope you do expand more. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Do you know what I mean?
It's it was weird because I've like the name The Awkward Aries was, it took ages to think of. Like I just couldn't think of something that would represent me, and I've always been like a really like quiet, chilled, reserved kid growing up. So I was like, well, I'm kind of socially awkward. So I'm going to stick awkward in my name. So I was like, you know what? I'll go with that.
That's great.
Yeah, I was like, it's good enough. So I didn't.
You're just lucky that no one took it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Luke had added at the last comment, when 7-year-old me found Minecraft Lite on the iPad, it was over, for the Minecraft comment. I was throwing that in there while I was thinking about it.
I always wanted to ask you actually how the Awkward Aries has cropped up, but now I'm glad you put that up because you're not awkward. Legendary. I didn't do it that quick. I didn't do it fast.
You did it that time. You did it quick that time.
There was no long pause there.
There was no waiting in the air, waving the fingers around like we're doing a magic spell or something. I don't know.
Legendary. There we are. Legendary. And that type of stuff. Anyway, so how would you describe your channel and community in 5 sentences or less?
Ooh.
Oh, that's the first sentence there.
Yeah. You didn't know you had to think on this channel, did you? It's so easy when you're in the viewers and you're like, oh yeah, I've got this comment, and you make a comment, and then when you're on the show, you're like,
It's 5 sentences or less. I'm like, I can't say too much.
Well, I mean, it's just a general paraphrasing. That's the reason why it says 5 sentences. I mean, if you go over 5 sentences, I'm not going to penalize you. It's okay.
I just get straight kicked off. No way.
No, Trans will kick me off properly. I'll be
penalize Mouth before I penalize you. You're okay.
You'll get the punishment. Yeah. So anyway, I would say, like a laid back, friendly, inclusive community. You know, I want everyone to be included, and I'm also a little bit chaotic, so sometimes, you know, it's funny trying to watch me figure out how to do things. So friendly, inclusive, a little bit chaotic, nice and chill, but
okay,
a nice mix.
That's mixed. Okay, I'm glad you said mixed.
A mix.
To be fair, that's fair dues with that. But yeah, I mean, what you said, spot on. Like, you go check her out. Check Aries out, absolutely amazing, and she does do the most mad stuff on the streams itself.
Yeah, generally chilled, but then you might just eat a pig every now and again, you know.
Yeah.
So you never know.
That will never ever happen again. If it does, I will be gobsmacked. To be fair.
Tess says that's the best mix.
That's the best.
It's a good mix. It is a good mix.
It's a very good mix.
Nice. How long have you been streaming for? What were the memorable milestones along the way? Now, I'm not saying the yeet is a milestone of the pig. Do
I
not
was
say
just
that.
It
thinking
might
that
be.
then.
You never know.
I was contemplating whether that would count.
Just for you, Aries. Just for you. I'll say that as one, but the rest, don't say any more after that.
Thank you.
It's
Eating pigs, number one milestone.
Yes, exactly. Definitely. Right at the top of the list. I started streaming the beginning of January this year.
Okay.
I think it was about the 9th or the 10th. Can't remember the exact date.
Don't worry. Don't panic.
It was the beginning
okay.
of January because I remember wanting to start at like November last year.
Yeah.
But I didn't know where to start and stuff. So I did loads of research before I did it. I was like, do you know what? I could probably start in a few months because I was spending literally every hour of every day researching. That's all I did with my time. So, did a good few months
There's
of
nothing
research.
better than learning how to be a spontaneous streamer than researching it.
Yes. I watched
To be
many
fair,
YouTube
there's
videos.
a lot of research out there about how to get yourself started streaming.
Yeah.
But, that was just the perfect moment for me to use that. So.
Yeah, but beginning of January was when I started. So,
Nice.
7 months.
So what's been some stuff that's been memorable for you during that 7-month time frame?
You've already mentioned one. You've already mentioned one.
Eating the pig.
Eating pig.
Got it.
The thing that I think I'll remember the most, and that I'm going to put like really high at the top, is the birthday stream. Like, my average views, I always had the same people in my chat that I'd made friends with and stuff, and like Malk was around and GG. But it was just so weird because the birthday stream, I had like double the average viewers. I had loads of people chatting, like everyone was getting joined in what games I was playing, and like I had the first hype train and stuff. And I like ended the stream and I was like nearly in tears. I was like, I can't believe that just happened. That's definitely one.
I remember those feelings. Yes. Oh. I love it when those things happen. They make me feel really good.
Yeah.
And they make me cry like happy tears. You know what I mean?
Yes, happy tears. Yeah.
Happy tears. One question from GG, but we'll mention it after our questions normally with the interview and all at the end. But you've got to say something. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say that anybody, if you have a question, you want to go ahead and put it in chat. That's perfectly okay. But we'll get to it, like Malk was saying, at the end of the interview with the streamer, because we have an Ask Us Anything segment, which you guys can ask questions to any of us, and we'll just incorporate it during that time.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
The birthday stream. Gigi says the birthday stream was so good. Was good. Among Us and Scribble as well.
It was good fun, that.
And Glovator said earlier, inclusive towards eating pigs, which
we are inclusive to the eaten pigs.
Yeah. You know what this is going to be called as the title, the yeeted pig. On
the pig episode.
Yeah,
the food and eating pig episode. That's what it's going to
be called. Mature like cheese. Glove says, that'll be a question afterwards. Yeah. So, what games have you been playing a lot, or have been obsessed with lately, on or off stream? I know I mentioned one of them, but was there any games that you haven't mentioned?
The main one recently, I would say, is Valorant.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I understand completely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been obsessed with it recently, so it's not just us, it's fine. But yeah, like obviously Malk plays with us on Mondays, and GG, Katie and Penguin. We've got a little squad together on Mondays. It's just good fun. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a good game.
You, but we're not on the same server, which really sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does. I know. I wish you could play with just like anybody, but sad times. But
or at least get in their server something.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, Valorant's like the main
Make
one.
Make it happen, dude. Make it happen.
Yeah.
Cross server play, like somebody in the US can jump on an EU server and join their friend.
Yeah. It needs to happen.
Needs to happen.
It does.
Well. It does. To be fair, I will be honest. I'm not the greatest FPS as a first-person shooter. If you're not sure what FPS is, go home.
Leave.
Yeeted away. So basically, the first-person shooter, I'm just useless at it. But I love.
We'd love you to be here, unless you don't know what the term FPS means.
Yeah,
leave.
Yeah, leave. Leave now.
That's the worst thing ever.
It is.
No, if you don't know what the term FPS means, guys, you know now. So there you go.
Thank God for
You've
that.
learned something new.
Because now you know.
Thanks. And but like I said, back to it as well. And like I said, with Aries, Musa, GG, Katie, you know.
I have to undermine your authority in some way, Mel. Come on.
We'll talk about that.
It's for the banters.
No. Absolutely. But basically, I do enjoy the company and the banter as well.
Yeah.
And just have a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time. Like, none of us are pros and stuff. And it's good fun. Just, you know, sometimes we get amazing kills and sometimes we just drastically fail. And it's just good fun.
Absolutely. And don't get me wrong, the best moments we've ever had is basically when we're like completely out of the scoring boards and then we just got back into the lead at the last round. That will be my milestone. That will be my milestone. And I'll be like, and if I get the last kill, I'll just drop and retire and have the MVP and I'll drop and I'll go.
Yeah.
Not MVP with me
I still haven't got it yet, the MVP, which I've been like I said, poor the guys. It's just like, I'm not going to get this MVP. The bastards.
It'll happen, Mel.
It'll happen.
But we believe in you.
We believe.
We believe. But yeah, I'd like to thank Trans for getting me onto Valorant, and then obviously Aries and the rest of the crew is basically got me to like
now Trans has to get back into Valorant.
Get back into Valorant. Like Rampage.
I've been busy. I haven't got a chance to play much of it. Maybe Monday, we'll see.
You have to get on it properly. No questions asked.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I'll get back in it. Don't worry. I just don't know when. Before the season's over for sure.
Fair days.
I've got a whole battle pass I gotta finish. Come on.
Yeah,
no
you'll be there at some point.
No worries. Gigi says Valorant. Absolutely. I cannot wait to show off K/O on Monday. That's
the new operator.
New operator. Yes. Oh, just don't say
agent. It's called an agent.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say smooth.
That was my fault for saying the wrong word.
On that.
Francis' fault.
And then Gigi says yeeted from chat for not knowing FPS. That is true.
Apparently that's how Malk rolls, Gigi. I don't know.
It's just how it rolls. Well.
Just yeet him straight out. It's fine.
Yeah. What got you into streaming, Aries? What got you into streaming?
Again, with watching like PewDiePie and everyone, I wanted to do something like that. I wanted to create content, but it seems harder to start from YouTube than stream. So I looked into streaming, and then I got a Twitch account and watched so many people stream, and I was like, this is cool. This is so much better. So I was just watching loads of people, and like the first few people I watched were great, and I loved it.
Oh, I'm speechless.
I love that. She has no shame in it. She has no shame in the... Man, YouTube was hard to start, and it wasn't as good as Twitch is. I love it.
Whip.
Yes, YouTube is very, very hard to get started on. It is. It's gotten so much harder to get started on than it used to be, too. Content creators that have been on there for a long time now got started a long time ago when it was a lot easier to get started on YouTube. But Twitch is available for us to use for our streaming purposes, which is a beautiful thing.
It's all here. Yeah. It's all here.
Yeah. I mean, I talk to myself a lot playing games as well, so I was like, streaming seems good. I can just chat away playing the game.
Like, legit, Aries, that's one reason why I was like, well, I already talked to myself. Why not make it to people who are watching my show?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, people can watch
either now or later. You never know.
It's a good plan.
I still talk to myself. There'll be nobody in my Twitch channel, and I'll just be talking to myself. I'm like, oh yeah, well this is a good idea. Okay, let's give this a try.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
what
do
do you guys
that.
think we should name this? Well, I'll go ahead and name it this.
Yeah. I do it a lot in The Sims. I'm trying to build something. I'm like, should I do this? No, that looks horrible. We're gonna do this instead.
Malk knows. Malk has been watching my streams for how long now, Malk? And so he's seen enough of my streams to know. I just legitimately just talk to myself for, doesn't matter who's in the chat or who's not in the chat. I just talk to myself.
That's good though, because then if people join, it's not quiet and you're not just not doing nothing.
It's a transition.
Yeah, well, to answer to Trance's question, was decades, proper decades.
Decades. It feels like decades in a good way.
Yeah,
but it's not been decades.
Yeah, but that's what I said, like in a good way, but decades way as well. But
a good decade,
good decade way on there.
He's not saying, "Oh my gosh, I've known you forever, Trance." It's our relationship. Our friendship has been dragging on for so long.
Oh my
god, such a burden.
Nah, she's a good egg. She's a good egg.
Not a burden at all. Just
not burden. No burden at all. She'll kill me after the stream if I don't get that right on the.
If he doesn't say I'm not a burden, he's right. I'll tear him down after the stream. He's right. Completely.
So I was the host. Well, the host with the most. Host with the most is completely ripped off on there. What game made the biggest impact on you as a child? I know you already mentioned it, but is there any other games that made you an impact as a child?
Yeah, like aside from Minecraft, since that was the first one I played a lot of The Sims, and the first memory I have was my auntie. We had a really old PC. It was terrible. And my auntie brought around the Sims 2 disc.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, I think you'd like this," and gave me. I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I put it in, and I honestly played it 3 weeks, not even having a break. I played it non-stop. It was a great game, and I still play The Sims all the time. I don't know. I can play it non-stop for a few months, and then I get kind of bored and have a break, and then play it again. But I would say The Sims. There's so much you can do with it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's intriguing, to be fair, because you just did not expect that at all, with The Sims, because The Sims is more popular now than ever before, and I remember when there was different games like Roller Coaster Tycoon, it was all the other bits like Theme Park World and Theme Park Hospital as well.
Like those micromanagement games.
Yeah.
Where you control every little aspect of every little detail.
Yes. I mean, I like it in The Sims, but when The Sims constantly need telling what to do, I just get too carried away and I'm like, do this, do that, and I don't actually play the game properly. Yeah, and if I leave them to it, they end up burning the house down, so you can't leave them to it. You've got to control them.
What do you mean you don't know how to cook an omelet? What the heck? You learned this days and days ago, which is years for you.
It's so annoying. I
hate that moment when you just you have to try and get them to stay still for 1 minute and while control the other, and you're like, for God's sake, just stay in one position.
You need to
don't go.
You need anywhere. To do something with one of the Sims, and the other one walks off. So you're like, no, okay, stop, cancel the action, and then you go back and then they start walking off again.
Stop.
Oh, mad stuff.
Uncontrollable.
Uncontrollable.
We got quite a few questions lined up for the Ask Anything chat for Ari. This is going to be awesome. I love it.
So we've got more than ever before that we have been doing with the podcast.
This is great.
I feel honoured. I feel privileged.
You feel the love.
Where's the Queen? The Queen.
Needs a crown.
Queen crown.
I need a crown on my head.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more question from the main interview of the streamer.
One more of our questions, and then you guys will get to y'all's questions. So you guys can start putting your questions up. Aside from Gigi, who's already got a list of questions already prepared.
Gigi and like a glove type questions on there.
Yeah.
What kinds of characters do you relate to the most, and how so?
That's a hard one. I I think it depends what kind of like game I play to like who I relate to. You know, I can't relate to The Sims very much because they just walk around aimlessly and burn the house down. So I do not burn the house down.
Maybe somewhere inside you really just want to just be like,
I'm gonna set fire to this omelet.
I just want to do whatever I'm told. I mean,
maybe
tell me where to go and I'm there.
Bless.
Yeah. Life is Strange. I liked Max. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I'm not like Max, but she hated all the popular kids in school, and she liked to chill with a camera and stuff. That's kind of me. I relate to that. I don't know about anymore.
Was what kind of characters do you relate to the most? That's what we were talking about. That GG. That was what we were talking about.
That was it. Have you got any more, or are you okay with that question answer?
You can add more if you want.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of like specific ones, but I know in a lot of the story-based games, it's more of like a kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like the more relaxed and reserved people. Because a lot of the story-based games have a good mix of like personalities in there. So I'm more of the relaxed, reserved, you know, likes to just like observe people. Yeah. Those kind of characters.
The chilled, laid back ones.
Yeah.
More observers than actions. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's unbelievable.
You learn a lot about the environment you're around by being an observer.
Yeah, I just observe a lot more.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, okay. That's good. Right. That's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Right. Now we have, after 2 hours and 3 minutes gone of the stream, of the podcast itself, we are finally be able to get to the last part, which is Ask Us Anything. So you can ask me, you can ask Trance on my left-hand side, or Aries, the main interview streamer.
Interviewee.
Word. Interviewee, sorry, miss.
So we've already got some questions lined up for Aries, but if anybody has any other questions for myself or Malk included, feel free to pop them in chat. Just make sure you let us know who you're asking. If you want to ask a question to everybody, say to everyone question, so they know that you're asking that particular that question to everybody in our chat. So
absolutely. So what I'm gonna do,
and you can highlight these questions, Malk. You can highlight the questions.
I know. See, you're 2 steps ahead of me. Thanks. Wait. I'm trying to find the birthday.
I'm doing this for you guys, by the way, just so you know. I'm making them highlight your questions for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to find the question to make sure.
The first one. The first one was.
What was the first game you streamed? What was the first game that you streamed? GG has said.
I think it was The Sims 4, because I played it a lot at the time. And when I first started thinking I'll stream on Twitch, the things that I watched the most was Sims 4. So I was like, you know, I've watched people stream it. I play it a lot. It seems good, mainly building stuff. You know, I didn't really do much gameplay, but it was building stuff in The Sims. I think that was the first thing I did.
Okay. Fair dues. Like a Glove has asked a question. Aries, who is your favourite person who own a dog called Ralph?
I mean, that is a difficult question.
That is one of the most.
I think I know where this question is coming from.
Well, I have 2 options. It's very hard to choose.
Okay, no pressure. Do you want a 50-50?
No pressure.
Do you want a 50-50 phone a friend? Ask the audience type question?
Yeah.
Ask the audience for votes. I mean, it's the GG. The GG, I'm sorry.
It's the GG.
Ralph's the main character, though. I love Ralph.
Fair enough. So it's been summoned on there as well. So
yes.
GG, which you mentioned about GG. GG has asked another question. Aries, if you could only play one Valorant agent and use one gun for the rest of your life, who would you pick and which gun?
I like that. I like that question.
That's a good question.
I have been playing Jet and Viper a lot recently.
Okay.
But I think I would go with Jet. I'd stick with Jet. I would keep Jet.
Okay, Jets.
So
what gun?
That's the big one.
I like the Phantom.
The Phantom.
I think that's probably
Phantom's good. I like the Phantom too.
I would say that's probably one of the better ones.
Oh, okay.
I'd stick with that. Jet and the Phantom. That's my combo.
Jet and
Some
Phantom.
ninja of you. It's awesome. I love it.
That's my combo.
Oh, I always remind you of the Silent Assassin Aries from back in the Among Us days.
Yeah.
That's all I always remember. Now it all builds up to Valorant as well.
Yeah.
I nearly lost the game by accident. Glove has asked another question. What's a game you've always wanted to play and really enjoy, but you can never click with it, no matter how hard you try?
Okay, is that specifically for Aries or is that for everyone, Glove? Just give us a heads up on who that's directed to. I'm pretty sure it's directed to Aries, but we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
Aries can start.
I think the main one is Stardew Valley because I've played it and it's obviously a really popular game. So I feel like I should enjoy it more than I do. But I've played a bit of it. I just can't seem to be like wanting to play it all the time. Like I've only played a few hours and I can't seem to play more of it. But it's a good game and obviously it's really popular. Everyone loves it. But I don't know, there's just something that I can't quite get into with it. Can't put my finger on it.
You might just need the right company to help you find the things that you can enjoy in it, maybe. That could be it. Or you could be missing the company. That's possible.
True.
That was the question to Aries. That was being confirmed.
Glove said, but you two can. But YouTube, I suppose you two can answer too. Haha.
Damn it! So Trans, you can have some more. I need to have some more time because I can't think of one at the minute. Just trying to think.
I'm trying to think if there's a game that I've seen played, but like I was like, this looks cool, but I don't know if I'd be able to handle this game. I've played so many different games in my life, so I just don't know. I mean, I guess maybe like a sports game. I've watched people play sports games personally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, the graphics look really cool and the playback's really nice, but I'm not really a big sports person, so watching it is kind of cool to watch somebody play it, but thinking about playing it myself, it just doesn't seem like appealing, I guess is the way to put it. It doesn't come across as appealing to me because I'm like, I don't think I would be able to click with this game because I'm just not a big sports person in general, so...
This will shock you actually, Trans, and you probably would kill me afterwards. This would probably kill you. Will kill me after. I want to get into Monster Hunter World, the fantasy type games, but I don't know whether I have the patience to like be, try and do the beat 'em ups or have the time to like, I need to get it from this and that, like all the story mode and all like the side quests and all the other stuff. So I don't know. I feel like I would love to play it. I played World of Warcraft. Again, it took me a while to get used to it because I still did not even know where to begin or how to start. To be fair, but everyone was talking about it. Everyone was raving about it, and this was when I was at uni as well. And it was like, "Oh, you go play this, Mark." Like, okay, but me, big sports fan, turn into a World of Warcraft fan. That's going to take me a while to understand to me, but it's just I quite like I like it, but it's just it will take me a while for me personally. But I don't think it will like to click that much.
Monster Hunter World
You
is
know those types.
Monster Hunter World is really cool. If you just kind of look at it, like every mission of killing each monster is its own side mission.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like it becomes a hunting game, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you look at it that way, it becomes different. Because at first I didn't think I would. I'm like, I love RPGs, but I don't know if I'm gonna really click with this game because the first few hours I played with it, I was like, it's all right. But then when I started doing the hunts and started getting the bigger hunts, I'm like, all right, okay, I can craft this new item, I can get this new kill, I can do this, I can do that, and I was really found the things that I enjoyed in that game.
Absolutely. We're going to have to rush a bit because we are a little bit over time.
Running over.
Just a tad.
We started on time this time, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Gigi says, Aries, who is your favourite reoccurring Sims family? Example, the Pancakes, Goth, etc.
I love the Goth family. Definitely my favourite.
You love the Goth family.
100%.
They're pretty awesome. I like them too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, period. Is that it?
It's just
period.
those.
Period dot. Nothing else. Just the Goth family.
I need to get back into The Sims more, to be fair. I need to see it again, to be fair. It's
a good game.
It's a very good game.
Pass a good 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
This is very true.
Absolutely. Gigi says, love you, Aries, with a love heart. My glove says, send the love of the hearts.
All the love. Just don't steal it, Malk. Start stealing it, and I'm not happy about that. Don't do it again. You can do it when I'm with you, because it's my thing.
Never on your own. Do not do it on your own.
Never. If I ever catch you doing it on your own again,
it's trademarked.
I'm gonna put copyright on that thing. Trademark. It's gonna be Trance's trademark thing. It's going to be my thing.
I'm not saying a word. Anyway, back to topic. Glove, like a glove, has said, Aries, you love ducks, but do you eat duck?
I do not eat duck. No.
I've
never had it.
You never had it?
No.
Same.
But I don't know. It didn't appeal really, so I've never had it. And then obviously I've now developed some sort of obsession with ducks, so I just don't really want to eat them now.
They're too cute. I don't want to eat it.
They're so cute. I love ducks.
It's like if you became obsessed with deer and then you don't want to eat venison anymore for the rest of your life. Like, I love deer too much.
I've had venison once. I don't think we have it much in the UK, really. I had it once on holiday. It was nice.
So good. Venison is really good. Cooked properly, it's very good.
I feel bad. I have tried duck once, but that's only with a wrap.
I never have.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, the wrap. It's all good.
With a wrap. It's like a duck wrap, and it was absolutely nice. To be fair, it was nice, and I'm not going to say any more after that because I don't want to ruin the moment.
How dare you?
Yeah, but that was once, and I'll never eat it. One time. But because of this question, I feel bad. So let's go straight to the next one now. Gigi says, Ralph is the only reason people come to my streams. I feel the same for Stardew. Glove says, for me, it's Dark Souls. This was the question about, I think it was the
game about you didn't click with, yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's Dark Souls. I like.
I think it's love,
love Bloodborne, but Dark Souls is so much slower. Also, can't get on with any rogue likes.
Yeah, roguelikes look like an interesting. You gotta be a certain type of person to handle a roguelike, I think.
Absolutely, and it's just it feels. Gigi says feel the same with Stardew as well.
Yeah.
Like, it just takes a while as well.
Yeah.
So, guys,
I don't see any notifications in my chat, so if no one else has any last-minute questions for any of us, we'll give you guys a little bit of time. We'll start wrapping things up here in just a minute.
I've got a couple of questions, actually, for Aries. She'll probably think, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
What's your goal in the next 5 years? What's your aim as a streamer, personally?
Obviously now I only do it part-time whilst I'm at uni.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, presumably, I will have finished and hopefully be in a job that I want. But I would still... My goal is to keep streaming and to do it in the long run. Like, I started in lockdown, in January, and it wasn't like, oh, I'll do it for a few months just to pass the time and then I'll be done with it. Like, I do want to keep streaming. Like, I really enjoy it, and I'm not saying, in 5 years I want to be partnered or like 50,000 followers. I don't feel like I want any of that. I just kind of want to keep streaming, playing some games, chatting to people, having fun, making friends, like that kind of thing. And obviously in 5 years' time, if I am partnered and have 50,000 followers, that'd be great. But
Oh.
I would like to see myself still streaming and have a nice, loving community like I do now still.
Oh, yeah, and you have got a very good community that I've seen as well, and it's well managed, I think, personally. And same with Transit, same with all the ones that I've been on. There's some rubbish communities that I've seen.
Yeah, there are some.
But there's some that, like you two, I'm not saying because you're on stream, but you two on the stream itself is basically...
He's buttering us up, Aries. I don't know what he's doing it for, but he's buttering us up for something.
Suspicious. Very suspicious.
Bollocks.
Very sus milk.
Bollocks. I've tried to be polite and be professional on stream and try to be nice, but no, I was just trying to be polite to do that.
We appreciate it, really.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
But another one actually is, if you had to pick, I know I've probably said this to you before, but I'm going to say this in a different way. If you had to pick your streamers that I know you said you watched PewDiePie back in the days, but is there any streamers that you recommend watching now, like, that you're watching?
I watch a lot of like small streamers. I don't watch like the big streamers really. I watch the YouTube videos, but on Twitch it's mainly the smaller streamers that I watch. But I would obviously recommend you two because you are lovely. I love your streams. They're so funny. And the podcast, you just go so well together. The banter's great.
We have great banter.
Top notch.
It's all about the dance.
Yeah, but like the people that I first started watching when I started streaming were Legend of Lana and Fleur. So they were the first two people I watched, and I'm still friends with them. We mod for each other and stuff. They're just lovely people, so I'd recommend them. They stream similar games to me as well, and I'd say they're kind of like a similar vibe. Cute, cozy games. I'd recommend them. Obviously, Gigi.
You need the cute, cozy streams. You totally do. Because then you get the Phasmophobia streams, and you're like, oh my god, I need my cute, cozy again.
Yes, I will play that at some point as well. I'll regret it. I will be scared, but I will play it at some point. Definitely.
I just got it, so yeah.
It's a good game. It looks so fun.
It's pretty cool. It's very fun.
I played it with Shani the other day for the first time. I said, promise not to go on it. And first time we did it, we absolutely rubbished. We are not Ghostbusters.
Did both of you guys die?
Yeah, on amateur as well. And we was the only two. We was only the only two, and we was looking, and we didn't realise the timer at the time because we was watching it. And then all of a sudden, the door when we got in, the door was open. Then it locked. So we were shitting ourselves, thinking, "Where's this ghost that's coming?" And then the flashlight kept going on and off, and then I just saw Shannon. And Shannon
was a very active ghost.
Absolutely, yeah. It was one of the. To be fair, we was trying to learn the controls. That was our excuse. That was an excuse.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
And don't get me wrong, I love it, and I would play it if we got loads of people on, and I would do it. To be fair,
I have it now, so we can play it.
Absolutely. I'll let Trans do all the work, and I'll be like, yeah, it works.
Just hang back. He's just like, yeah, I'm hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for
Hide in
me.
the locker. You can do all the work. I'm not going to get killed this time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's top notch. Right, I've got 2 more questions left, and that's not from me, but from Glove.
From Glove. Yeah, we got 2 questions from Glove.
Aries, what are you studying at uni, and where do you hope your degree will take you career-wise?
That's a good question.
That's a good question, actually.
I study forensic science, so it's mainly chemistry and analytical kind of methods. So using lab equipment is like 90% of the degree, knowing how to like analyze compounds and stuff. But the forensics part is like crime scenes and fingerprint lifting and evidence collection, that kind of stuff.
The who
she needs to play Phasmophobia.
Yeah. That's kind of why I want to play it, because it seems
totally do it
like that.
Yeah, you should download it. I think it's still on sale. Get it.
Yeah. It's the who done it. It's the who done it moments there. Who's done it? Was it?
We know who did it. Was the ghost.
It was the ghost. I know that.
Find which ghost though.
I know that, but I'm trying to suspect.
Yeah, find the ghost. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've just been whipped by a trance. To be fair, and the last question of the evening. I'm hoping there's no more. If there is, I do apologise, because we could be on for all night long.
It's gonna go a long time, guys. We'll have her back. Don't worry.
Glove says, Aries, why are you such a boss at Mario Kart? Are you cheating? If so, how? Oh.
All of the mad hacks. No, I'm joking. I do not cheat at Mario Kart.
Now it all comes out.
Now it comes out. It's the hack.
I am not a Mario hacker. But I don't know. I played Mario Kart on the Wii so much, it's sad. Like, I was obsessed. I played that a lot.
There's nothing wrong with that. Mario Kart's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it so much. So probably just all the experience from Mario Kart Wii, and then play it on the Switch. It's different because of all the controls. They've obviously got new stuff added in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I seem to really focus on Mario Kart. Like, I'm really in there. I'm not competitive usually. And then it comes to Mario Kart and I'm like, I need to win. I'm like so aggressive with the controls. I don't know what it is. Mario Kart just brings something
red
out.
Red cart to the backside. Red shell to the backside.
Throwing all of the red shells.
It's chaos, you guys.
It is. I don't even know why. Like, it's just.
I think we broke Milk.
It's my aggressive driving.
Yeah, that'll be me. That'll be me in Valorant. Right. Shoot. I tell you what, you've made me cry. Your laughter tonight. That was just.
That's a really good high note to end on. Thank you for that question, Glove.
Thank you for that. That was absolutely.
You made Mark cry. It's worth it.
It was worth it. Totally worth it.
I tell you what, guys. That is the time being. I can't believe this is one of the longest ever streams we have ever done on the podcast. We do apologize to Aries because
we got distracted so many times.
Yeah.
The funniest part about it is when we started this podcast, we're like, "Oh, we think an hour and a half to 2 hours is good. That's reasonable. We can set everything in an hour and a half, 2 hours." And it's just gotten progressively longer.
So
you might hit 3 hours next week.
We'll be at 2 hours and 45. I don't know.
Poor Aries, because we promised her. I'll promise you, it will be an hour and a half max.
Hour and a half. 2 hours.
But no, or maybe 2 hours. Just looking at that back thinking, for God's sake, they promised me this and I want my money back, guaranteed on there.
I've been scammed.
What are you talking about?
Scammed on there, to be fair. But but like I said, guys, I'd like to thank everyone that was on the stream. Everyone was on the chats, both mine and on Trans Gaming Girl, the hostess with the mostess. Can I just say a massive thank you to the legendary Aries. I always call her the legendary. She always will be. She put Aries. That's what it is. She's not put awkward.
Just Aries.
Just Aries. Just
It's
Aries.
Aries today. Where is it?
Where is it? There.
It's
Right there.
I nearly went that way.
It's somewhere. You'll find it eventually. It's okay.
I will get there at some point.
Yeah.
It's here. I think. Yeah.
And here's what you could have won on the right side. So yeah, Glove's son's going to be up in a few hours. Yeah, I do agree with that, mate. With that.
Yeah.
So,
It's late,
yeah,
y'all.
so thank you to the legendary Aries. Did you enjoy it, Aries?
Yes. It's been so much fun. Thank you for having me.
It doesn't feel like 2.5 hours.
It
never
doesn't.
feels as long as it goes.
It doesn't. It's gone quite fast.
Forgot to ask actually. What's your goal, like follower wise? Are you after a next goal? Are you for following on Twitch?
I don't really have a goal at the minute, just because I've taken a break for a bit from streaming. I feel like I need to get back into it. But
Okay.
I've just hit 300, and that was the goal recently. So
Get it.
I think I'm like 306 at the minute. So
that's
Yay.
really impressive.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
yes.
That's really impressive considering you started off in January as well. And I will say this personally, I'm sure Trans will say, anyone that watches the Awkward Areas, she is absolutely amazing. And check out her streams, whether it's on YouTube with the highlights of Valorant, with our pew 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 shots.
I love the pew pews.
Pew pew pew. And then
It's more like.
that's my shooting of like 200 bullets, and then they kill me with one.
Bullets going everywhere.
Hooray, we're hitting something today.
Pray and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's my motto every week on a Monday night, and I feel bad every time. But no, it's just like I said, guys, check out the Awkward Areas. Let's see if she can hit the magic 400. I know she only passed 300, but let's see if she can try and hit the 400 as soon as possible. Because are you going to do some duo streams soon?
You should.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
You can add me as a friend, Aries, if you don't already have me, and then we'll work something out. Like if we're streaming together or something, we'll figure it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe we'll get you into Phasmophobia.
I will
You can
definitely
put that
play it, but I don't know
detectiveness to
when.
work. You can put that detective to work.
Yeah. I might get it whilst it's on sale, and then maybe
Yes.
save it for a special occasion.
Or get used to the controls and then start streaming it.
Yeah.
Even though it'll be much funnier the other way around.
Absolutely. So, like I said, check out the Awkward Areas on YouTube and also on Twitch. And also check out all the other social media sites on Instagram and on... are you on Facebook as well? Correct me if I'm wrong, Aries?
No, I don't have a Facebook page.
Okay, no worries.
It's
Twitter. I know it's Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Twitter and Instagram.
So yeah, just check her out, guys. Please check her out. She's absolutely amazing and unbelievable. Guaranteed, she will yeet that pig next time.
I need to play that game.
All the
again.
pig eating.
You
all
need,
of it.
I like to thank on my
all the pigs.
I like to thank on my left-hand side on the screen the legendary, the hostess with the mostess.
That's me.
Is Trans Gamer Girl on the left-hand side. Thank you for doing everything that you have done so far with the podcast and get everything prepped up and ready as well, as always, every week. Thank you, Trans, for absolutely amazing.
Of course.
She's getting blushed, guys. She's getting blushed.
I actually kind of am a little bit.
Bless. Right. I was your host with the most, Retro Wolf Live, aka Malk, the mad one with the pew 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 moments.
The pew-pews.
Pew pew pews. I'm going to get killed. Cheers for that, guys. I will see you all next week for episode 6. I believe. I believe it's GG. I believe it.
I believe too. And this is the thing I should have done again this week. I didn't do it last week, and I didn't do it this week. But I should have packed this up so I can confirm what you're saying. 17, yes, that is going to be Gulliver Games, aka GG, who has been hanging out with us on quite a few of our streams and also in our chats. So we'll get a chance to sit there and chat with Gulliver Games and have a wonderful time getting to know their community and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be great. Good stuff.
Nice one. So there we go. Episode 6 is the GG pew 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 episode on there.
The
Anyway,
Queen of Pews.
Queen
Queen of the Pews.
Queen of the Pews here on there. So here we go, guys. Cheers for that. Take care yourselves. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.